story begins in the year 2077 when the virtual game Apocalypse became a reality. The world's order collapsed, and the world turned into hell. Humans awakened supernatural abilities, and in that chaotic world, Zhang City's richest playboy Ye Xiao still managed to protect Qin Yanran very well. He invades her personal space and assures her that he spent a fortune on hiring 10 experts to help her level up, making sure she gets the best. Xiao spared no expense, even exhausting his fortune, to buy a divine artifact for Yanran. Any opportunity or equipment, Xiao would bring it to her immediately. Thanks to him, Yanran finally became a god-tier powerhouse in Dragon Country. The day of their wedding came. A lot of people envy them because they truly are a match made in heaven. Ladies dreamt of having such a devoted man like Xiao. When Xiao asked her to be with him for the rest of their lives, Yanran covered his mouth and hugged him tight. Then Yanran replied that she wouldn't. Unexpectedly, she shoved her hand to his chest. Then she took something out. Xiao asked her why. She took his heart. She asked him if he thinks that he can buy her true feelings, and if he thinks that gifting her equipment allows her to morally coerce her. Well, looks like he's wrong. She accepted his gifts, but it doesn't mean that she agrees to his affection. She stated that she's not cheap. And everything she achieved that day was earned through her own hard work. She told him that the only person who understands her struggles is Zhou Hong. She gave Xiao heart to him. That way, being with him, she would still hear his heartbeat, and she thinks that's touching. Xiao got angry. Hong stepped on his face and told him that everything he owns is now his. Xiao fell at the bottom of the sea while wondering why Yanran did that when he wholeheartedly gave everything. In the end, she betrayed him. He felt that he turned into ash. He asked if that is how it ends. Now he no longer has a heart, but he grits his teeth and refuses to end it that way. He vowed to take his revenge. He planned to make those despicable people pay the price. Suddenly, he went back to his senses, and Yanran was talking to him. She asked him if he thinks she needs her money. She set the record straight, saying that accepting his money was just her saving his pride and face, and she warned him that if he keeps clinging, he shouldn't come find her again. Xiao was confused. He wondered if it was reincarnation. He remembered that it's a week before the game Apocalypse descends. He's holding a card with 200,000 wen, and it's Yanran's monthly allowance. He realized that he really had been reborn. Yanran told him that she endured mental anguish by taking his money, especially that many of his classmates say that she's a gold digger. She doesn't understand why when she's doing it entirely for his own good. Xiao glared at her and loomed over her. She asked him if he's regretting it already. When she was about to reach out to him, he slapped her hand away, then suggested she goes to hell instead. Yanran was taken aback. He told her that it must have been hard for her, so he'll never give her anything again. She got annoyed. She assumed that it was just one of his little tricks. She told him that since he came all the way there, she'll reluctantly accept his card. He told her to get lost at once. She couldn't believe that he dared talk to her like that. She warned him that he would regret it. Then Xiao came back since he suddenly remembered that the shoes she's wearing are also the ones he bought. He took her off her feet and told her to take it off before she leaves. She got mad and screamed at him. She warned him not to think that it will make her yield to him. She threatened him to remember what he's done that day, and even if he kneels at her and begs her later, she will never acknowledge him. Xiao replied that it would be a blessing. Then he begged her not to show up in front of her again. Xiao had thought that he had more important things to do than to waste time on her. Apocalypse, at that time, during the first 10 minutes of the beta test, the recharge system had been briefly activated. He needed to gather enough funds before the test began. He called someone. A woman in an office answered the call and teased him by naming him the legendary romantic. She asked him why he suddenly called. She's called Yelin, and he knew that she always wanted her shares. He offered his shares to her in exchange for a lump sum of 20 billion. Lin couldn't believe that he's selling his shares. He told her that it's 20 billion and not a cent less. He instructed her to complete all the paperwork within 5 days and transfer it to his money account. He expected that it wouldn't be a problem for her. She replied that it's not a problem. She's glad that he finally decided to hand the Ye Corporation over to her. Xiao told her to cut the crap and call him when he's ready. The next step for Xiao is to wait for the Apocalypse Beta to arrive. He was determined that in that life, he'll climb the throne alone. 1 week later, the system showed a welcome message. That is the version of the game in beta. The player was congratulated for gaining beta access. The test will last for 3 days, and after that, the public version will be launched. Xiao is now inside the game, and it felt familiar to him. He arrived at the starting point of the Apocalypse game. His nickname is Knight Xiao. Then he chose his class. In his last life, a guild was once destroyed by a god-tier beast tamer leading a dark abyss dragon. With this life, being abundant in money and resources, Xiao decided to be a beast tamer. His body started to glow. The most important moment arrived. He clicked top up. The system congratulated him for the successful recharge. 20 billion gold coins have been credited to him. That made him happy. He was expecting that the 20 billion would increase tenfold in 3 days. Then, he was congratulated to be the first player to recharge over 1 billion. The system unlocked a unique hidden profession reward. His hidden profession was identified, and it automatically merged. Red eyes showed as a sign. Until he was congratulated to have obtained a second profession called wealth. That surprised him. He didn't know that a hidden profession could be unlocked by spending too much money. On top of that, his hidden class is a god of wealth. A frog creature with red eyes appeared and expressed that he didn't expect that a young brat would unlock him. Xiao asked where this frog jumped out from. That offended the frog. He introduced himself as Ebisu, Xiao's wealth mentor, and Xiao became his 709th god of wealth under his training. Xiao was skeptical about having a toad as a wealth mentor. He even teased it for selling financial products. Ebisu was determined to show this brat what real wealth is. Several screens appeared containing details of different innate talents. First is Wealth Rolling In, by level 1, which expresses that the most basic ability of the wealth god is to generate wealth. The gold coins that Xiao carries increases by 1% daily. Penny Pincher, LV1, shows the power of a wealth god. He rejects all losses. Upon death, the gold coins and items won't drop. Then there's the Extraordinary Luck, level 1, where it abides by the belief that money brings good fortune. The player will possess immense wealth and excellent luck. Next is Unmatched Charm, level 1, wherein even the ugliest person becomes handsome with generosity. The player increases its charm plus 50. Lastly, Power of the Wealth of God, LV1, wherein as a god, he possesses divine power. For every 1,000,000 gold coins spent, it will earn +1 random attribute point up to 100 points daily. Xiao didn't expect this. Xiao expressed that it's no wonder that it's a hidden class. There were so many innate talents. But he also noticed that none of it seemed offensive. Ebisu replied that Xiao doesn't get it. Any one of those wealth god talents can bring immense riches. Xiao was looking at the screen about wealth rolling in. Then he contemplated that with his current wealth of 2.2 billion, he'd earn an extra 22 million daily. Ebisu added that with the power of the wealth god, he could earn 22 free attribute points daily. He asked him if he knew what it meant. Xiao realized that the wealth god class is too overpowered. In his last life, he spent all his money on Yanran. Now, being a wealth god, he planned to show the world the true meaning of money power. Being happy with that, he grabbed Ebisu with both of his hands, but Ebisu protested. He placed him down and pressed the button to go to the newbie village. They arrived at the 9,527 newbie village Flower Plains. Xiao concluded that the server just opened since not many people are there, but it was the perfect time to grow quickly. He knew that starting as a beast tamer is dozens of times harder than other classes because early on he can't tame powerful beasts. To grow quickly, he needs to think of a strategy. Ebisu told him that choosing beast tamer class was reckless. He doesn't even start with a weapon. Xiao replied that Ebisu doesn't understand. He uttered that beast tamer has the highest potential and the most growth. Some monsters came running towards him. Those were goblin warriors at level 5 elite, and they rushed when they smelled human meat. Xiao felt unlucky to have faced that. He doesn't know if he should fight or flee, but he saw the toad running away so fast. Ebisu told him that there's nothing to think about when he's practically naked since he had no weapons, and he'd be up against level 5 elite. He yelled at him to run. Xiao ran as fast as he could. He yelled for someone to save him. The goblins told their food not to run. They finally made it to the main city. That was a close call. Xiao almost died at the start. He was pissed since he had never suffered such humiliation. The players in the village noticed him because he's a beast tamer. They couldn't believe someone actually chose that class. And what's more is that his beast is a toad. Xiao yelled at them that they are the toads. As he passed by, the players laughed and gossiped at him. Ebisu advised him that there are beast eggs for sale in the city. He can go buy one. He replied that he's not settling for any ordinary beasts. Ebisu asked him what he wanted. He made his way to a hidden dungeon where there's a god-level beast egg in a dragon's lair. At the Supreme Hall, Ebisu called him crazy for coming there at level 1. Only level 100 plus players can hire guards there. He told him to stop talking since he knew what he's doing. He ascended the staircase when someone told him to wait. A grand archmage at level 80 blocks the path and tells this young man that it's not a place for him. He told him to return when he had trained more. Only with the city lord's recommendation letter can he enter. Xiao said that it's no wonder that the place is so grand, because even the guard is a level 80 archmage. He replied that he doesn't have a recommendation letter. The archmage responded that he should leave. He added that the place is the Empire's pride, and it's not for someone like him. Xiao replied that he doesn't have a letter, but he heard that the archmage recently lost something, and he had come to return it. The archmage asked him what the something is. He warned him not to fool him. Xiao pointed at something and told him to look there. The archmage saw gold coins on the ground. He picked it up. Xiao kept pointing out that there's more. Xiao asked him if he likes it. The archmage was blinded by gold. He became docile and friendly when he immediately directed Xiao to the VIP room at the War God Pavilion upstairs. Xiao replied that he liked the archmage's demeanor earlier and requested him to be like that instead. The archmage coughed and shifted his attitude to a more strict one. Xiao liked it. Ebisu realized how money could work wonders. He entered a large room with red flooring and had several pillars in it. At the center, there was a throne. They passed by a Supreme Hall Honor Knight Golem level 100 and level 80. Ebisu commented that the Supreme Hall really lives up to its name. He told Xiao to re-equip the level 100 hireable guardian, and with it, he can dominate the newbie village. Xiao replied that it doesn't interest him, since they're beneath him. A knight appeared in front of them and asked who let them in. It is the Berserk Blood Warrior. Xiao informed it that he wanted to hire a divine-level golem guardian. The Berserk Blood Warrior replied that divine-level golems are extremely rare, so it's impossible that they could be for hire. Then it commented that for Xiao's stats, hiring an 80-level guardian is already more than enough, so he assumed that hiring a divine-level golem isn't something he can afford. Xiao replied that he will pay 1 billion per day. Berserk Blood Warrior had to process that information for a few minutes. Then he replied that technically, it's impossible since rules are set by people. And, by coincidence, he actually knew a divine-level spellcaster who might help. Ebisu was surprised to hear that because a spellcaster is a hidden class. Xiao stated that divine-level spellcasters are incredibly versatile. Protection, defense, offense, all in one package, and hiring them right from the start is a great choice. Xiao decided to go with that. Berserk Blood Warrior replied that he can summon them anytime, but first, he needed to confirm one thing: on when Xiao would pay the 1 billion. Xiao told him that they can sign the contract at once and he'll pay whenever needed. Berserk Blood Warrior replied that there's no issue. So, once the contract is signed, he'll summon them right away. Xiao replied that it's perfect, since the sooner, the better, since he's tight on schedule. Suddenly, a woman spellcaster wearing skimpy red clothing, thigh-high black stockings, a witch's hat, and silver hair appeared. They were surprised how fast it was. The woman saw Xiao and commented that he's a handsome young man. She introduced herself as Dorlos, a divine-level spellcaster. According to the contract, she will follow his orders for the next 24 hours. Xiao was overwhelmed with her level. It was so high that he couldn't even view the details at all. She grabbed his jaw and asked him what he needs, and she'll handle it for him. Xiao blushed and told her that it was nice to meet her. Then he informed her that he hired her to tackle a difficult task. She was arrogant. She asked what hard dungeons could be in the newbie village. She questioned if it was the Goblin King, or maybe his entire family. She stated that all of them are a wave of her hand away from defeat. Xiao replied that they shouldn't waste time and he'll trust her on it. She told him that it's easy, and told him to lead the way. Dolores created a large fireball, and it hit several goblins at once. Xiao was surprised at how much damage it caused. It was so much that Xiao joked that she beat her enemies into revealing their phone numbers. Most had turned into ashes. Ebisu cheered her on to destroy them to take his revenge since they nearly killed him earlier. The other player asked if they were seeing it right. The man that they laughed at earlier is now partnered with a spellcaster, and the numbers are insane. Another player stated that it doesn't look like a spellcaster since it doesn't reveal a level. He thinks it's a hack. The other man stated that there's no such thing as hacks. He thinks it's a high-level NPC hireling. The system showed messages to Xiao congratulating him for leveling up to level 10. He earned 10 attribute points for free allocation. He is the first player in the newbie village 9527 to reach level 10. He earned an additional 10 attribute points, and he's also congratulated in being the first player worldwide to reach level 10. He earned 50 bonus attribute points and the title Speed Ascender. Ebisue couldn't believe that the kid had reached level 10 already. The highest among other players isn't even beyond level 5. There was an announcement to all that the player Nightshao has successfully reached level 10. It triggered the unlocking of the leaderboard. The players were surprised because it hasn't been a full day and someone's already level 10. They questioned who that person was. It gave them the impression that the person was absolutely overpowered. One planned to cling to that person's coattails if it's not too late. One player even thought that they could be the game's GM running tests. Xiao lets them doubt all they want. He knew that they don't have an idea when the game apocalypse will become reality. It would make them understand that he's a true god. He's satisfied with the level-up attribute points and the 100 points earned from spending 1 billion for that day through using wealth power. He stated that it's about time for them to head to their true destination. Ebisu noticed that it was far. He asked if it was the hidden dungeon that he mentioned. Xiao replied, yes. They are off to Dragon's Lair. The world-level leaderboard was displayed, and at rank 1 is Knight Xiao. His name is the only thing there, because level 10 is the minimum for the leaderboard entry. In another setting, we see a player in white robe arrive. This player is named Stealthwalker at level 3. He had been hunting elite monsters since entering the game, and he's still only at level 3. And yet, someone had reached level 10 already. It made him wonder if there's some exploit in the game. And he had never heard of the name Xiao before. He finds it exciting that a rival showed up. At Newbie Village 9527, deep within Whispering Valley. Coordinates are 1102-254. Xiao finally saw the place. He touched a stone, then its mark glowed. Suddenly, it exploded. He entered a hidden area called Dragon's Lair. The system informed him that the area is extremely dangerous and told him to leave immediately. Dolores questioned how it was possible. She felt the overpowering aura. She asked how a dragon could reside there. She was surprised to find out that there's actually a hidden dungeon inside. She asked him how he even found it. Dolores expressed that if it's a dragon, she's not confident that she can handle it alone. Xiao replied that he's not dumb enough to fight a dragon. He decided to go in and take a look first. Years ago, a level 100 berserker accidentally triggered a hidden quest and explored the dragon's lair. At the time, no one believed him. Everyone thought it was impossible for a high-level dungeon to exist in Newbie Village, so he had to venture in alone and never returned. Ebisu asked Xiao how he knew about it. Xiao replied that he bought his battle footage at a high price and discovered there's a rare dragon egg inside the dungeon. Ebisu was even more so when he realized that Xiao was intending to steal the egg. Dolores was taken aback with that thought, since it's harder than slaying a dragon. She asked him if he's messing with her. He reminded her that she's a god-tier spellcaster, so she doesn't need to be modest. Xiao buttered her up, saying it's just a dragon, and she, a great god-tier sorceress, could take it down in seconds. The dragon was laying on the mountain of treasures. The skill of this one is Holy Judgment, Radiant Dragon at Tier 5. Upon seeing what they're up against, Ebisu told them to head inside while he waits outside the cave. Dolores was concerned, also relieved that she brought a teleport scroll. Xiao asked her if she could manage. She told him what a Tier 3 dragon alone could destroy an entire guild. That Radiant Dragon is one of the top-tier dragons. They have less than 1% chance against it. Xiao replied that it sounds terrifying. It also made him think that the dragon egg is more valuable than he thought, so he wanted to get it. Dolores told him no and decided to leave. Xiao told her that he'll pay her double the commission. She told him that doubling up won't help. It's not that she doesn't want the commission, but she can't just beat it. Xiao told her that they won't fight it. Instead, he just wants her to buy some time. She told him that there's no buying time since no one can withstand a Tier 5 Radiant Dragon. He offered her triple the commission. It made her stop walking. It made her turn around and accept the deal even if she had to risk her life. She told him that she'll go all out for 3 minutes. It's the max time she can buy him. The system window appeared to inform Xiao that he received the blessing of the God of Life, thus, his life attributes doubled. He also received the blessing of God of Strength, where his strength doubled. Lastly, he received the blessing of God of Agility, where his agility attributes doubled. Xiao was amazed. The buffs are active too. It's a little preparation to survive in the world. Buff duration is 3 minutes, then Xiao will be left on his own. Xiao was impressed with the God-tier sorceress. It was truly a terrifying skill. Dolores told the beast that normally she'd fear him, but for those 3 minutes she claims that it will bow to her. She used Ice Arrow. The dragon got hit on several parts of his body, while Xiao stealthily approaches the egg. He was careful not to let the dragon see him, or else he's dead meat. The dragon breathes fire in Dolores' way. She told Xiao that there's only 1.5 minutes left. She's running out of steam. Xiao struggles to carry the egg since it was heavier than he thought. He asked the toad to give him a hand. Ebisu expressed that he had never done something that shady before. Unfortunately, something fell on his feet, and he made a noise. It caught the dragon's attention. The dragon screamed out loud. Xiao called him a useless toad. Ebisu got offended. Xiao told him to run and stop talking. Xiao asked her to help them. She created an ice wall when they got past her, but it was not holding up. The dragon activated the skill Dragon King's Breath. She yelled for them to run. Xiao was surprised to see that she's running too. She replied that it's natural that she runs because she isn't invincible. And her 3 minutes were almost up. They were almost at the exit when the explosion blasted them away. That was close, but they managed to get the egg. She told him that if it hatches into a Tier 5 dragon, it would have been worth it. She reminded him to pay her commission. She told him not to worry, as she will get him paid. The system showed that her favorability towards him had increased to +60. Now, it was time for Xiao to contract the beast. She hoped that it wouldn't hatch into something strange. Otherwise, that 300 million would have gone to waste. He told her to shut up and not jinx it. He prayed not to be disappointed. The egg hatched, and a green dragon appeared. Dolores commented that it doesn't look like a radiant dragon hatchling. Xiao was confused as to why the color seemed off. He thinks that the radiant dragon got cheated on. The system displayed information about the dragon. It doesn't have a nickname yet, but it's an Azure Sky Dragon, mythical tier, at level 1. Its base stats are composed of 500 strength, 500 constitution, 500 agility, 500 spirit. It has a talent called Absolute Suppression. As a mythical tier beast, it naturally suppresses lower tier creatures. It deals 30% damage and takes negative 30% damage from creatures below the mythical tier. And it also has the ability called Dragon King, wherein, as the supreme being of the dragon race, it naturally suppressed dragon-type creatures, dealt plus 50% damage to dragons, and took minus 50% damage from them. Another ability is the Mythical Bloodline. It boasts an incredibly robust physique and gains all stat bonuses upon leveling up. It has HP regen of 200 per second, mana regen 200 per second, 100% HP and mana. One of its skills is Earth-Shaking Dragon, a group stun skill. It unleashes a thunderous roar, shaking the world itself. Creatures within a 20-meter radius are forcibly stunned for 1.5 seconds regardless of tier or type. Cooldown is 30 seconds and it costs 2,000 mana. It also has a skill named Dragon King's Breath for a single target. It breathes scorching flames that deal 500% damage to a locked target. It cannot be dodged. It has a cooldown of 5 seconds and costs 1,000 mana. The last skill it has is Dragon King's Wrath, a unique talent skill. It enters an uncontrollable rage, determined to destroy everything. It deals true damage indiscriminately to all creatures within 50 meters. Its cooldown is 30 days after activation. All stats permanently decrease by 5%, and the Azure Sky Dragon falls into a 5-day slumber. Xiao stated that with 500 strength at level 1, equipping basic gear means its breath attack deals over 2,500 damage, and no one could probably withstand that. Ebisu told him that he really struck gold this time. Dolores expressed that the hatchling's stats are absolutely ridiculous. Plus, it has immeasurable growth potential. If it matures, its destructive power would be unimaginable. Xiao pets it, while expressing that he didn't expect it to be that strong. He decided to name it Gray. Ebisu was glad that he wouldn't be mistaken for a pet anymore. Xiao noticed that he's holding something. Ebisu got annoyed that Xiao kept calling him Toad. Xiao inspected the item that looked like a badge. He grabbed it and asked where the toad had gotten it. Toad replied that he had picked it up from the dragon's nest. Dolores thinks it's the Calamity tier mark of ferocity. The system showed details of it. It is called Mark of Ferocity with a Calamity grade. It has base stats of 10% and increases all stats plus 10. It has a unique passive skill called Ferocity's Might, wherein the bearer of the Mark of Ferocity gains unparalleled strength. All skills trigger critical hits, base crit at plus 20%, and crit damage plus 100%. It also has Ferocious Massacre, which activates the power of the Mark of Ferocity, instantly dealing 1000% spirit as true damage to a target. This attack has double critical hit chance. If crit chance exceeds 100%, Overflow converts to crit damage. Has a 5% chance to trigger instant death. If target HP is below 20%, it guarantees instant death. It has a cooldown of 10 days. Dolores confirms that with its insane stats, it's definitely a Calamity tier. Ebisu told the brat to give it back since he risked his life to get it. Zhao moved it away from Ebisu while telling him that they almost lost their love because of him, and as compensation, he will borrow that. Ebisu refuses to let him borrow it unless he pays 10,000 coins a day. Xiao acted friendly, called him by his name, and told him not to be so stingy. He reminded him that they are buddies, so he shouldn't bring up talking about money. Ebisu told him to stop with the sweet talk. He noticed how Xiao called him Ebisui when he needed him, and when not, he's called Toad. Xiao wore the badge. He was excited because with it, farming goblins will be like slicing through butter. The system window appeared and displayed that a hidden quest had been triggered. It stated that even if the King of Ferocity was mighty, it was consumed by the abyss, and the bearer of the Mark of Ferocity should seek truth. The task is to find the Fang of Ferocity. Xiao asked what the Fang of Ferocity was. Dolores was surprised that he didn't know about it. Dolores informed him that it's a god-tier assassin's dagger, forged from the fangs of the abyssal beast. It is known as one of the most explosive weapons. She realized that there must have been some connection between the mark and the fang. Xiao expressed that it sounds amazing, but reaching the Abyss continent is a long journey. The system displayed that he will be forcibly logged out in 3 minutes. Xiao realized that his time is up, and it's time for him to log out. Dolores opened a portal. She expressed that she didn't expect that a dungeon in a starter village would take that long. As they have built rapport, she playfully calls him Peachy Sister as she says goodbye. She encouraged him to call her if anything comes up, but he better be ready with his coins. Xiao called him brother instead and said goodbye. Xiao knew that the Apocalypse game is still in beta and hasn't fully merged with reality yet. He decided it's best to rest for now. The next day at Xiao's home, he watches the news about the virtual game Apocalypse taking over the gaming community. It was at the top of discussion charts. A player being interviewed expressed that the game is so hard. He played all day, and his hands are killing him, and yet, he's only at level 2. He narrated that he died 3 times, and when he dies, his stats resets. There was another complaint that the devs made the game so hard. To their surprise, there's a player named Knight Xiao who's already at level 10 in just a day. They suspected him to be hacking. One even called it a trash game since he can't use cheats. On its first day, Apocalypse caused mass player deaths. Many experienced physical symptoms after logging out, leading to hospitalization. Later, organ failure cases emerged among survivors. Governments issued warnings against entering the game. Xiao saw that multiple nations had banned the game. He laughed at them and called them weakling. He knew that when the game merges with reality, they will all suffer. Xiao received a message. He was told to go to North Hua Hospital at once, and he was told to bring food for Zhou Hong and to pay his bills. And if does that, the person who texted him will pretend that nothing happened before. He got irritated upon receiving it. He totally forgot about that lunatic. He decided to block her first. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Hong was surprised to find out that Gao hasn't contacted Yanran all this time. He asked her if he would still come now that he called for him. Yanran asked him if Gao wouldn't dare to come. Hong knew that Gao loves Yanran so much that it's in his bones. He's certain that he will come running to her. The doctor informed Hong that he can be discharged early, and he should go pay the bill first. Yanran asked him why he's being discharged early. The doctor explained that the hospital is overwhelmed with patients suffering from organ failure, and just like them, it was caused by playing a game called Apocalypse. Now, the hospital is short on beds. Yanran got angry, and she uttered that it's like they're saying that poor people's lives are worthless. The doctor explained that it was a special situation, and they asked for understanding. He told them to settle the bill and vacate the bed by the end of the day. Hong told Yanran to stop arguing. He uttered that the game isn't really simple, and he plans to get discharged and continue playing. He asked her if she had any money, and requested her help to pay the hospital bill first. Yanran replied that she doesn't have money since Xiao didn't give her allowance for that month. Hong was confused because he knew that Xiao gives her 200,000 every month for her living expenses. She replied that Xiao had a bit of filthy money, and he's giving it to her to win her over, but she feels sick just seeing him. Hong encouraged her to send Xiao another message and ask him for some money since he plans to create an Apocalypse gaming studio, and that money means nothing to Xiao, and it will be very important for them. Yanran told him not to worry, since once Xiao gets there, she'll just see a few sweet words, and she expects him to obediently hand over the money. Meanwhile, at Xiao's home, Xiao was deep asleep. His alarm eventually rang, so he got up. It was time for him to enter the game. When he logged in, he arrived at Newbie Village 9527. Ebisu complains that Xiao is barely awake and he summons him already. Xiao argues that the early frog gets the worm. He told him that they have to level up fast and leave the village. The street was bustling with players looking for teammates. Xiao noticed how the number of players increased so much in just a day. He eventually caught their attention and players started flocking to him. They wanted to be carried by him since he's already at level 10. Ebisu told him that even if he switched to a masked outfit and hid his face, he can't really hide the level above his head. What an idiot. Xiao had no idea what he should do. Ebisu yelled at him to run. The crowd started chasing him. The crowd yelled at him to slow down. Ebisu told him to move or they'll catch them. Xiao didn't expect that many people would be running. The players eventually stopped since they couldn't chase him. The location he headed to is a level 10 trial zone, and they knew that monsters there would destroy them. It was too risky for them to go in. Some people think that Xiao will take the trial alone. Another person replied that it would be suicide. Ebisu was relieved that they finally lost them. Xiao knew those people weren't stupid, so they wouldn't dare to come there. Xiao was in front of the entrance of a castle. It was guarded by a single knight. The guard told him that the place wasn't for him. He expressed that he's there to start the trial. The guard was surprised that he reached level 10 that fast. He inquired where his team was. He replied that he's doing it solo, and he doesn't need a team. Upon hearing that, the guard warned him that even on normal difficulty, going in alone is suicide. He let him pass through. Zhao assured him that he has plenty of life to live. The guard thought that he's just another reckless kid. He stood in a magic circle. Several screens appeared before him. He was prompted to choose a difficulty starting from normal to abyss. Zhao thought that soloing abyss should be fine. His body glowed. The guard announced that the advancement trial has begun, and the selected difficulty is abyss. He thought that it was crazy to solo in abyss. Then, our MC was transported into another place. Ebisu questioned him if he's seriously going to do that. Xiao asked him if he really thinks he can't do it. He uttered that last time, he got a full bronze gear and an elite team, but they got almost wiped out because he had to carry Yanran. But this time he's there for revenge. He took out little Gray. With it by his side, he's confident. He sensed that someone moved near them. He told them to be alert. It was a savage snow wolf at level 10. Its HP is 5,000, MP at 5,000, Strength at 300, Constitution at 500, Agility at 300, Spirit at 500. This is a mutated abyss creature capable of total destruction. Once it locks on a target, death will come to it. Xiao didn't expect to face that right off the bat. He yelled that it was insane, especially with that 5,000 horsepower. Even a shadow assassin would be desperate facing it. He told Gray to prepare. The snow wolf roared loudly. Gray used Dragon King's breath and unleashed fire through its mouth. The snow wolf received minus 2,500 damaged. Then Gray scratched it, dealing damage consecutively. The snow wolf became angry. It has gone berserk. Gray used world-shaking dragon's roar. It stunned the snow wolf. Then Gray breathes fire on it, dealing several damage. Eventually, it was defeated. The system screen popped out congratulating them with their feat. With that, Gray had leveled up to level 4. Xiao was pleased that he increased 4 levels all at once. Xiao checked its stats and was impressed. It even has plus 50 to all stats per level. He commented that mythical grade beasts grow insanely fast, and it even unlocked such a broken skill. Xiao asked Ebisu what loot it dropped. Ebisu replied that there were 2 dark gold items. No surprise there because mutated bosses drop insane loot. There was a Blood Wolfgang dagger and Snow Wolf bow. Xiao was happy with it. He claims that it's so much better than his past life. Suddenly they sensed something. It was an abyssal tiger, demonized, at level 10. It has 8,000 HP, 8,000 MP, 400 strength, 800 constitution, 300 agility, 500 spirit. It is a twisted creature born from the abyss. Its power is overwhelming and deadly. Xiao dispatched Gray. It was just like a Pokemon battle at this point. At the same time, the tiger jumps towards it. Half an hour later, Xiao rested on a pillar. He expressed that if he knew it was exhausting, he wouldn't have soloed. He complained that his legs were about to fall off. Ebsu told him that he had already picked up several pieces of gear, and once he heads back to town, he will sell them for a good amount of gold. One of the loots he got are Dark Blade, a one-handed sword, and a spiked tiger shield, a one-handed shield. But Xiao stated that he has no plans on going back yet when the trial boss is just ahead. He planned to take it down. Ebisu couldn't believe him. He agrees that they have killed a lot of monsters already, but Gray is only level 7, so he doubts if it can handle a boss. Xiao replied that it's not a problem. In his previous life's Abyss trial, the final boss was just a Lord tier. He knew Gray can already easily kill 2 demonized monsters. And together with them, he's confident in taking down a Lord tier boss. He was to demonstrate his skills as a pro player. Ebisu feels like he sounds less and less reliable. The system screen displayed that the adventurer had fallen into the abyss. Xiao replied, "So what?" The system screen warned him that he entered a highly dangerous area and was told to evacuate immediately. Xiao narrated that in his previous life, despite being a great man, he was stuck on silly love affairs. So in this life, he would claim the Abyss Emissary, the ultimate power of Apocalypse. He happily shouted that the Abyss should be fully embraced. He eventually reached the boss who was sitting on a throne. It was called the Abyss Wandered King. Its level is 10, HP is not shown, strength is 0, constitution is 5,000, agility is 0, spirit is 5,000, talent and skill is unknown. That was surprising. Ebisu now questioned where the Lord tier that he mentioned. Xiao replied that in his previous life it was clearly a Lord tier. He wondered why it turned into a King tier. The 5,000 spirit points means that it is a pure magic class. 0 strength and agility meant that it has no physical damage, and the attacks are slow, but it could one-shot kill him. Ebisu told him that if he dies, he shouldn't expect him to pick up his corpse. Xiao is aware that a King tier boss isn't a joke. He asked Gray not to use his skills randomly and wait for his command. Then he advised Gray to keep changing positions as the opponent moves slowly, and he shouldn't engage in direct combat. Gray lets out a roar in response. It breathes fire. It looked like a tiny lizard, spraying the boss with tiny flames on the shoulder. Xiao encouraged it to keep moving in circles. The boss blacks the flame with its forearm. Xiao told Gray not to let it cast its skills. He encouraged it to keep going and wear the big guy down. The boss shifted its attention. It made Xiao curious as to why the Wandered stopped moving. He felt that something was off. It felt like it was looking at them. He noticed how it turned toward them. They got concerned. Ebisu yelled at Xiao to dodge. Xiao felt the impending danger, so he doesn't have to say that. He got attacked. He called Gray to save him, because he can't hold on much longer. The boss released a barrage of attacks in his way. Gray released fire. The boss got annoyed, but it lost its balance. Gray roared loudly, and the boss fell. Xiao expressed that if it doesn't die soon, he's going to run himself to death. Ebisu told him that next time if they come to such a dangerous place, he shouldn't be involved in it. The system screen appeared and displayed a congratulatory message for completing the Abyss level advancement trial. Gray levels up to level 10. Xiao was congratulated on being the first adventurer to complete the Abyss trial. With that, He has been rewarded with +5 all attributes. At this point, Xiao was breathing heavily. He expressed that he didn't expect Ebisu to be afraid of dying. Ebisu got annoyed and teased him that he was running so fast for someone who isn't afraid. He approaches the boss to check the items it dropped. The system screen announced to everyone that player Knight Xiao from the Xia Nation has completed the Abyss level advancement trial, becoming the first ever adventurer to complete an Abyss trial. He has earned the legendary title Abyss Emissary. Most of the players couldn't believe it. It was big news. They found out that the first clear player is from the great Xia Nation. On top of that, he's the only one on the leaderboard, which makes him so extraordinary. One man told a woman to investigate it. The woman understood and saw that the player was from the Jiangcheng area. He called a knight to send someone to the Jiangcheng area to investigate immediately. Most of the players couldn't help but be impressed that it's only the second day and there's already a pro player at level 10 from Newbie Village too. Hong told Yanren that if they can team up with that pro, they are sure to get rich. Then, even the rich kids like Xiao will have to look up to them. Yanren asked him if he really thinks that a silly game could make him reach the peak of his life. Then Hong reminded her of his request, to contact Xiao and get him in the game since he's rich and good at games. Yanren replied that she's not stooping that low, and if he wants to do it, he could do so. She claims that she's not that shameless. Because of her response, Hong questioned her on how she's going to manage her living expenses for that month. Yanren yelled at Hong to stop bringing up Xiao. She pointed out that it's rare for them to have some time alone together. She never played a game before, and she wants him to teach her already. Hong was flustered with her reaction and told her that they will have to level up first. Meanwhile, at the Abyss, Xiao was disappointed that after all that effort, it's all that was dropped, and it's just a fragment. It's a fragment of abyssal stone and had never seen that in his previous life. He didn't pay much attention to it and just decided to have it appraised later. Since Xiao had passed the trial, he can now leave the newbie village and head to the main city. The guard was surprised that he came back. He couldn't fathom someone actually solo cleared the trial at Abyss difficulty. He told him to stop wasting time and have him connected to the main city at once. He wished to leave the newbie village at once. The guard understood and prepared the door. He congratulated the respected warrior on passing the trial and informed him that he's no granted a guide token, allowing him to freely enter and leave the main city. Xiao thanked him for that. Additionally, since he cleared the Abyss level advancement trial, he is entitled to an epic item badge of valor. Xiao was pleased to receive this commemorative item. The epic badge of valor is a proof of a hero. Only those who clear the Inferno level trial are qualified to receive it. It's the Empire's highest honor. Its basic stats is +20 and charisma is +3. It has a passive skill where when HP falls below 30% strength, it increases by 10% for 1 minute. Basically, it's an epic tier with all attributes enhanced. And he liked it. He called Gray and Ebisu to keep up as they will leave for the main city through the gate. They arrived at Windleaf Main City. Ebisu looked around. Xiao was amused by how quiet it was. In his previous life, the job transfer square was packed with over 100 people. He could see that coming in early makes such a difference. Xiao was set to find the Beast Master Gutal. Ebisu was confused why he would look for him when he's already a beast tamer. Xiao replied that he will find out soon enough. He made his way in the city and reached Beast Master Gutal. Xiao approached him and expressed that he would like to transfer his job. Gutal shooed him and told him that he should find someone else. He didn't like to be bothered. Xiao told him that he wants to transfer to the hidden class Beast Whisperer and no one else can handle that. Gutal glared at him and asked him if he really thinks that anyone can become a Beast Whisperer. He challenged him to prove his strength first. He ordered him to go to the outskirts and bring him 100 eyes from the Demon Wolf cubs. The system screen informed Xiao that Gutil has issued him the quest of Eyes of the Demon Wolves. He must head to the outskirts, defeat 100 elite monsters called Gale Demon Wolves, and bring their eyes back to Gutal. Ebisu asked him how he even knew about the hidden class quest. Xiao scoffed and replied that there's no way he's wasting his time killing 100 monsters. Gutal called him a useless fool and told him that if he can't handle that, he should get lost and stop wasting his time. Xiao clarified since Gutal must have misunderstood. He doesn't think he needs to kill any demon wolves because he has an item which should be enough to prove his strength. Gutal was surprised to see the epic badge of valor. He couldn't believe that someone so young has already cleared the Inferno level advancement trial. Xiao clarified that it's not Inferno but Abyss level. Hearing that, Goodle got curious on how many people were in his team. Xiao proudly responded that it was just him. Goodle was happy to hear that. He uttered that front the moment he saw him. He could already tell that he was an extraordinary talent, a true dragon among men. Xiao was dubious about it since the moment he saw him not long ago, he called him a useless fool. Ebisu commented that the guy is changing his tune faster than flipping a page. Xiao asked if it meant that he could transfer to the Beast Whisperer now. Guto replied yes, but he had one small request. He would like to see what kind of beast could pass an abyss-level trial. That wasn't a problem for Xiao. Gray appeared in front of him, and he was surprised for two reasons. First, it's a god-tier beast. Secondly, it's a dragon hatchling. He sweated a lot. He shared that he never thought he'd see a god-tier beast with his own eyes. It was his dream beast. Xiao asked him if he's okay, and told him that there's no need to get so worked up. Goodle told him that he might not be able to transfer to the Beast Whisperer that day. Xiao asked why. He replied that the Beast Whispered isn't worthy of a god-tier beast. He planned to introduce him to the Royal Chief Beast Tamer. He gave him a referral letter and instructed him to follow the address to find him, and he'll give the answer that he's looking for. Xiao felt fortunate. The system screen informed him that he had triggered the hidden class quest called the Dragon's Whisperer. He had to head to the royal city to find the Royal Chief Beast Tamer. Ibisu told him that he's lucky that he's getting to transfer to a hidden class. Xiao replied that the Royal Chief Beast Tamer is in the royal city, which is far from there. And besides, he had other things to take care of. Ebisu asked what those are. Xiao told him to follow, and he'll find out. He needed to complete another hidden quest. Ebisu asked him how he knew about so many hidden quests. They saw a woman who's wearing white strapless bra, white armbands, and white skirt, which was very short in front and long in the back. She's also wearing white heels, she's gorgeous, and she's guarded by 3 soldiers. Xiao told Ebisu that they needed her. Ebisu asked him if he plans to sell himself out. He replied that he doesn't understand. He informed him that the woman is Lady Charelle, the widow of the former city lord. She's a wealthy, beautiful widow. He tried to approach her, but he was blocked by the guard. He moved past him and talked to the lady. He told her that she seemed so sorrowful and asked her if there's a problem that he can help her with. She replied that there's a personal item that she had lost. She told him that if he could find it, she'd be grateful. That triggered the hidden quest of needing to retrieve Lady Charelle's beautiful flower. Xiao assured her that he will take care of it. Then, they went roaming the city. Ebisu was confused as to why they are wandering around the town when the flower that the lady seeks should be in the garden or outside the city. Xiao replied that Ebisu knew nothing. The flower that the lady is looking for isn't an ordinary flower. He asked if he knew where her flower was. Xiao replied, and they just perfectly arrived where it was. Ebisu was surprised to see a tool shop. He thinks that Xiao must have been mistaken. The shopkeeper saw them and asked what they would like to buy. Xiao expressed that he heard that this shop sells treasure boxes. The man enthusiastically replied that the treasure boxes they sell can contain prehistoric dragon bones or even legendary grade staff. He asked how much of the budget he has for it. Xiao requested for the most expensive one. The man brought out the highest grade treasure box in his store with 10,000 gold coins each. Xiao replied that one isn't enough. He threw a bag of gold coins while saying that he'll take all of what he has. The shopkeeper was surprised that he's buying them all. Xiao was slightly arrogant when he ordered the shopkeeper to open every single one. He opened the first treasure box, which contains a dual blade axe, bronze grade. The second one is a large healing potion. The third treasure box is a size-increasing bread. Half an hour later, they are in the last treasure box. Xiao ordered it to open. He was expectant. They were impressed with it. It contained a beautiful flower, however its use is unknown. Once he had it, he called Ebisu so they could leave at once. Meanwhile, Lady Charelle is soaking in the bathtub. She asked her servant, Liss, if someone would really find that flower for her. Liss assured her that with her charm, luck won't fail her. Suddenly, another servant barges in to inform her madam that a young man is outside asking for an audience, saying that he had brought the flower that she requested. Liss immediately got up the tub. The knight ushered her to the young man who claimed that he found what she was looking for. She approached him and asked if he really found it. He gave her the treasure box. When she opened it, she found a truly beautiful flower. She was happy since she had been searching for it for so long. She apologized for her rudeness, as she was just so overwhelmed. She told him that he had helped her so greatly, which leads her to asking what reward he would like. Xiao replied that he's not interested in money or artifacts. Since he's not interested in money or artifacts, it made her think that she had no choice but to offer herself. Xiao blushed. He was taken aback, especially when she said that in broad daylight. Xiao clarified that there must have been a misunderstanding. He told her that she only needed her to help him obtain a citizen status. The system screen appeared and displayed that due to his noble actions and outstanding charm, Lady Cherilai's favorability increased +20. Lady Cherilai told him that what he wanted was easy. She ordered one of her servants, Eliza, to prepare the papers and her seal. Xiao expressed that he also had another request. He wanted to purchase some property in Windleaf City and settle down. It made her ask if he doesn't want to wander around anymore. She commented that it's a stable choice. She looked at the map and told him that she understands him wanting real estate, but the West District he's eyeing isn't exactly a bustling area. She asked him if he's certain that he wants to buy there. Xiao expressed that he's certain of his decisions and hoped that she can assist him in making the connections. She agreed to it and promised him that she'll make arrangements for someone to contact the real estate agents in the West District. Ebisu scolded this brat for not asking for the prosperous East District instead. He told him that he's intentionally making a loss. Xiao told him that he knows nothing. He informed him that soon the Windleaf City will be attacked by strange creatures, and under the assault of powerful beings, even the current city lord will fall in battle, and most of the East District will be destroyed. But the West District, being sparsely populated, won't attract as many monsters, suffering the least damage. Later, it will become the most functional and valuable area of Windleaf City. He was confident that he won't ever make a losing investment. Xiao, accompanied by Lady Cheryl, had met up with the agent. The agent informed him that the real estate contracts for his purchases have been finalized. He acquired 340 residential units and 184 commercial properties, totaling 1.2 billion gold coins. He asked when he would like to make the payment. Xiao was surprised that he bought so much for just $1 billion. It was a steal for him. He replied that he can pay at once. The agent expressed that it was a pleasure doing business with him. Lady Cheryl then gave him his citizenship document. Xiao was surprised to know that he became a citizen of Windleaf City already. Lady Cheryl corrected him. It's not a Windleaf citizenship, but a first-class citizen of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. He was surprised to learn that. Even Ebisu couldn't believe it. Even many powerful warlords don't have first-class citizenship in the Dragon Phoenix Empire. He told the kid that he hit the jackpot. Xiao realized that the madam is actually of royal descent. She posed and teased him, asking if she couldn't be a royalty. He replied that it's no wonder that she exudes such noble and regal elegance. It made Xiao ask if she knew about the royal beast tamer. She knew that he's talking about Uncle Stir. It made her ask why he's looking for him. Xiao expressed that he wanted to learn more about the beast tamer profession and related missions. She told him that Uncle Stir should be in the imperial capital, but he's an eccentric and unpredictable person. Still, she would try to contact him for Xiao. He told this beautiful madam that he doesn't know how to thank her and instead offered her his sincerest kiss. Xiao kissed her finger, and it made her blush. It made her giggle. She told him not to call her madam anymore. Instead, he should call him Sophia. Xiao agreed to the beautiful Sophia. The system screen displayed that due to his charm, his favorability with her increased by +20. He was also congratulated for obtaining his first-class citizenship of the Dragon Empire. The prestige ranking has been unlocked, and Great Sia players can now check the leaderboard. He was also congratulated for acquiring real estate. The regional housing system is now open. All Great Sia players' daily game time limit has increased by 1 hour. Ebisu noticed him fawning over her. He commented that it was like he sold his looks or something. Xiao replied that he loved seeing him irritated but powerless against him. Another system screen appeared to show that he leveled up to level 11, as well as Gray. It was announced to all the players that Knight Xiao has obtained first-class citizenship of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. The prestige leaderboard has been unlocked. Great Sia players can now check the rankings. Then another screen appeared to announce that Knight Xiao had successfully purchased real estate. The Great Sia regional housing system is now active. All Great Sia players' daily game time limit has increased by 1 hour. Upon learning that there's housing and citizenship, one player commented how the game is so realistic, and they get to receive an extra hour of game time. There are some players who got offended with the class system. Since someone had reached first-class citizenship, it made them feel bad about themselves that they think they're on the bottom. Another player felt that he's already a nobody in the real world. Now, it would be the same while in game 2. The guy behind him told him to stop complaining and questioned if there's even someone who knows who the developers are. Yanran was impressed with Night Xiao's accomplishment. Hong thinks it's impressive, but also commented that Night Xiao's name is kind of weird. She then sighed and uttered that if they had a top player like him leading them, they would probably be level 4 or 5 by then. Unlike their current disposition, wherein they struggle to kill a single slime. The other woman heard her and got annoyed. She pointed out that with Yanran's tone, it looked like they were unhappy with their team. The other woman told them that they did nothing, yet they gained levels just by tagging along, and it seemed like she's still not satisfied. The swordsman in the party told them that if they didn't like it, they could leave. Hong tried to mediate. He told them that there's just a misunderstanding and that his friend didn't mean it that way. He apologized for it, but Yanran got pissed and decided to leave. She told Hong that they are leaving. Hong asked him what she was even doing. The woman told her that just because she's a little pretty doesn't mean that she can act like a princess. Hong got annoyed that it was just them left. He questioned how they are going to level up now. Yanran was angry because he said he'd help her level up, but when they insulted her, she didn't defend her. She questioned him if she even cares about her. He admitted that he was wrong. Then he asked her if she had already contacted Zhao to play Apocalypse with them. Yanran questioned as to why she would have to when it's Zhao who always reaches out to her first. He understands that she has her pride, but he begs her to do it just once. He encouraged her to do it for him instead and to help them level up. She told him that since he's begging her, she will consider it. She planned to message him after she logs off. He told her that he would be waiting for good news. She said goodbye since she's about to log off, at her home. She reasoned that even if his way of throwing money around is a bit crude, she can't completely blame him. She decided to give him one more chance. She decided to take the initiative of messaging him one more time. In her message, she told him that she's playing a game called Apocalypse. Then she ordered him to hurry up and buy the equipment, then help Hong and her to level up. And if he can get her to a ranking board, she might consider being his girlfriend. She asked him if he's touched by it. She hit send, and while doing so, she was thinking of how generous she is for forgiving him this time. 5 minutes later, she noticed that he hadn't replied yet. When she checked, she saw that Xiao deleted her from his friends list. She got mad. She yelled that from that day on, they were completely done. And if he really had dignity, he shouldn't come begging to her like a dog. She vowed that even if he kneels, she won't ever forgive him. At Windleaf City Eastern District, Xiao was imagining that his Western District would flourish like that. He arrived at the place. The shopkeeper immediately told him that their shop only appraises silver gate equipment and above. He was advised that if he has bronze equipment, it's better for him to go outside the city. Xiao challenged them if they can appraise dark gold tier. He showed the shopkeeper the night pendant accessory. The shopkeeper couldn't believe that it's really dark gold. The shopkeeper assured him that the shop owner himself will handle it to ensure success. Xiao told him to cut the nonsense and straightforwardly asked for the success rate. The shopkeeper replied that he's a gold tier appraiser, highly skilled, with over 80% success rate. Then he told him that the dark gold grade appraisals cost 100 gold coins each. Xiao told him that it's not a problem. He threw the bag of coins on the table and ordered the shopkeeper to start appraising. He added that he has several other dark gold pieces that he wants to be appraised. He took out the equipment. The shopkeeper was surprised that he was loaded. Xiao told him to hurry up. Night pendant is level 10 with dark gold grade, plus 40 spirit, plus 40 strength, minus 20% dark attribute damage. The man replied that the stats are absolutely insane. Zhao was actually pleased. He told the shopkeeper to continue. He left when it was done. His current stats is level 11, with base status of HP 990, MP 2640, Hunger 100. His base attributes are Strength 142, Constitution 142.99, Spirit 264, Agility 110. He also has special attributes such as Luck 65 and Charm 68. Xiao was pleased that his stats have improved a lot. Ebisu told him that with his current strength he can hold his own. He asked what they should do next. He replied that Sophia hasn't sent any news yet. He decided to go to Mist Valley and have Gray level up. They arrived at a gloomy valley with several bats flying in the sky. Ebisu asked him if it was really that place because he knew that it was a level 20 monster zone. Xiao replied that it was correct. Suddenly, they saw 4 gray hyenas approaching. It is at level 21. The system warned Xiao that the gap is too large, so he's unable to view stats. The gray hyena is corrupted by gray mist. They are already violent by nature and have now become even more bloodthirsty, attacking any non-similar creature in sight. And they love attacking from behind. Xiao complained that they come in packs. He commanded Gray to attack. Gray used Dragon Breath and insta-killed 2 hyenas, while Xiao was chilling and having a sip of coffee. He told Ebisu that the monsters there have high levels, but they automatically come to them, so he suggested that they stay there. Ebisu commented that this brat really knows how to enjoy himself. Gray continued to fight in the background. While he responded to Ebisu that he used to suffer and take beatings so naturally, he'd decide to enjoy it. 2 hours later, he and Gray reached level 12. A lot of hyena corpses lay on the ground. Xiao estimated that reaching level 20 would only take a few days. Then he noticed an item on a rock. It was a fireball scroll. It had to be crushed to understand the basics of fireball. Ebisu pictured a beast tame using a fireball and thinks that it would look ridiculous. He told him that more skills never hurt. He crushed the scroll to learn the fireball. He can condense a fireball with magic power, dealing 150% spirit value as magic damage to the target. Cast time is 1 second and it costs 50 megapixels with a cooldown of 5 seconds. He practiced it with the hyena. He hit it. But the damage is too weak. Ebisu laughed at him. He teased him that his fireball's damage is weaker than Gray's fart. It was getting late and Zhao knew that he had to log off. In just 2 more hours, the 3rd day of Apocalypse begins, which means that it will be publicly released. By then, all citizens of the Great Jia Kingdom aged 16 and above will be forcibly pulled into the dangerous game. It would cause the world to change drastically. It was an eerie night. A lightning bolt struck. The people in the real world were shown screens to inform them that they are entering the game. They were suddenly transported into a vast field. They were all confused because they were doing their own business when it happened. One person was soaking in a bathhouse, and suddenly he was there. Another one was happily eating skewers. They even saw someone they knew. Yanran was confused as to why she entered the game automatically. Hong finds it weird too. He was just eating midnight snacks with Wang Wan, and then he suddenly got pulled in. When he looked around, it wasn't just them. He commented that it looked like Apocalypse is changing the world. He asked Yanran if she managed to contact Xiao and asked him to power level with them. That triggered Yanran. She replied that Xiao should go to hell, and even if he begs her, she won't acknowledge him. She planned to contact the legendary Knight Xiao in-game to power level. Hong asked if she knew Knight Xiao, the one who ranked first. She replied that she doesn't know him yet, but she's confident that her beauty had never been resisted by any man. The announcement came that all citizens of the Great Xia Kingdom aged 16 and above, regardless of gender or age, have been forced inside Apocalypse. The game's exit interface has completely disappeared. Players can no longer log out on their own. Player locations correspond to real-world geography. The close they are in reality, the closer they spawn in-game. Each newbie village corresponds to a region. If a player dies in-game, they cannot return to the real world. A group of middle-aged men gathered around a bonfire where a pot of soup hangs. They talked about something being seriously wrong since everyone has been forcibly logged in. They wonder where Night Xiao is, and if he has any idea how to log out. Since he's the only one who leveled up that fast during beta, they think that he knows something. The way he leveled up makes them think that he's a GM. They decided to find him. At newbie village number 001, a knight kneeled to its master and informed him that so far, they still haven't found a way to exit the game. He thinks that they might permanently be trapped. The man replied that the situation is serious. He asked where Night Xiao is and if there's any news on the top player. The knight replied that they can't reach him and he's already at level 12 and wasn't in the newbie village. And at that time, no one can leave. The man asked about Chen Kuang. The knight informed him that Kuang Blade is only level 4. The man was surprised to hear that. He knew Kuang is in beta, so he questioned why he's only at level 4. The knight replied that he's been leading his team, constantly grinding, but Apocalypse is simply too difficult. He shared that many people are still stuck at level 2. It made the man realize that Night Xiao is no ordinary person. He ordered them to spread the word to find him. Meanwhile, our MC received a message telling him to come to the Duke's mansion. They have news on what he's investigating. He made his way there while sharing to Ebisu that he didn't expect that the news about Royal Beast Tamer would come that quickly. He met with Lady Shirel. This widow then informed him that she missed him. Well, that was straightforward. Xiao blushed upon seeing her. In his head, she was so seductive that no one could resist it. He called her Beautiful Sophia and asked if she had any news. She told him not to rush since Uncle Stir is traveling and can't get away. Xiao expressed his disappointment. She told him that Uncle Stir wanted to tell him how to unlock the hidden class. She told him that it's not difficult and it's right in Windleaf City. Xiao was surprised to hear that. He thought he'd have to travel to the ends of the earth. Turns out the treasure was in his backyard all along. He asked her to tell him where it was. She replied that it is a bit tricky. According to Stir, on top of the dragon ridge outside the city, there's an extremely powerful dragon. Beneath its lair lies a labyrinth. He asked if he's talking about the cave maze. She was surprised that he knew its name. He made up an excuse that he just happened to overhear it. But deep inside, he was thinking how he's familiar with it because he grinded it a lot in his previous life. He heard that there's only a level 80 eerie demonized boss there. He questioned how there could be a dragon. She replied that Stir is certain that a dragon guards the place. In Xiao's mind, it was only a demonized boss. It made him wonder if it changed to a dragon this time. Whatever it was, he decided to leave first. She was surprised that he's leaving alone when it is a level 80 area. Even the city's elite have never returned alive. He cuts her off and assures her that he has his ways. The system screen detailed his task, to head to the unknown labyrinth and retrieve an item from within. Ebisu agreed since he even stole a dragon egg before, so exploring a labyrinth is nothing to him. He told the toad to shut up. Xiao uttered that as long as the money is right, he'll even take down a dragon, and dealing with dragons is his specialty. He told her that the job is best left to Dolores. Lady Cheryl noticed the Supreme Hall's badge on him. She wondered how a level 12 player like him could have that. Dolores appeared on the portal and asked who it was that summoned her. She saw it was Xiao. She asked him if he missed her. He told her that she has a big job for her. She asked if it was another dragon. He told her that she has a gift of foresight because she was right. She was only joking, so when she learned that it's for real, she was surprised. Since it's another dragon again, it made her ask if she has a grudge on their kind. She complained that last time, stealing the dragon egg almost broke her back. She refused to do it. When she was about to walk away, Xiao offered her the same deal as last time. 2 billion reward. She was enticed by it. She made it subtle, though, by saying that it's like she doesn't want to do the job, but she's still injured and has to recover. So, if he's not in a hurry, she would like to go with him after a month. Since she's injured, Xiao offered to tell her the location of the Holy Spirit Spring. Dolores was surprised to hear that. She told him that if he really knows, she'll go with him even if it kills her. They sealed the deal, and Xiao suggested that they set off. Dolores had to ask if it had to be at once. She inquired where the Holy Spirit Spring was. He told her that it was at the Lost Hands. She asked him if he had the exact coordinates. While they are walking away, Lady Cheryl watches them while thinking that Xiao is really beyond expectations. She wondered if he will become a god-tier powerhouse in the future. Her favorability with him increased to +10, outside the newbie village. A party got worried for their member named Wang Qiang, who is down on the ground. The woman shared that Wang Qiang got slashed by a goblin twice. After respawning, his organs started failing. That's when the reality that the game kills people sank in. They begged to go home, but no one knew how to log out. Someone suggested looking for the level 12 player and asking. At the Dragon Ridge. Ebisu expressed that it's such a beautiful place, and it doesn't look like a dragon is hiding there at all. Dolores answered that the more peaceful the place seems, the deadlier the danger lurking within. Xiao agreed. Especially when all the monsters in there are level 80. Without her level suppression buff, they had already been surrounded. She suggested that since they are going for the labyrinth, they should avoid fighting unnecessary mobs. He agreed to that. The dragons flew in the sky. Dolores asked if he's certain that it's where the entrance is. What they just saw is a tier 5 dragon, and she doesn't want to be spotted by it. He told her that she won't see them. He informed her that the entrance is below that steep slope on the mountainside. She warned him that he better be right otherwise. He's on his own. They reached it, and Xiao uttered, "See? I told you." There was a marking on the rock. She inspected it and stated that the problem on such a sophisticated teleportation array is that there's no magic residue. With that, she can't open it. Xiao volunteered to do it. He slashed his palm with a dagger. Then the markings glowed. It made her ask how he knew how to open it. She couldn't believe that he actually did it. Xiao simply laughed and told her that he has his ways. Dolores finds him to be a really mysterious person. The system screen appeared to warn them that they have entered an extremely dangerous area. It is called the Dark Cavern Maze, and the maze has only one exit. They need to find it within the time limit or else they will be trapped forever. They were given a hint that since it is occupied by eerie creatures, they must proceed with caution. The countdown started with 180 minutes. Seeing that, Ebisu got concerned and wished that the kid would take him somewhere safe for once. Dolores complained about entering an eerie zone, and the time limit is only 3 hours. Xiao was thinking that the last time he was there, the time limit was 3 days. He expected that something was off since the time limit got shorter too. Dolores warned him that the mission is even more dangerous than facing a Tier 5 dragon. She confirmed with him if he still wanted to go after those items. She asked the God-tier sorcerer if she's scared. She got offended that the brat thinks she's scared. She told him to stop being ridiculous. She boasted that she's a God-tier powerhouse, a supreme hall elder, and a top sorcerer, so there's nothing for her to be afraid of some eerie maze. That's exactly what he wanted to hear. After that, he urged her to move quickly. When they descended the stairs, he asked if she knew about concealment magic. She replied that it's a dumb question because it's such a low-level spell that she didn't even bother learning when she was an apprentice. He told her not to be mad. He just wanted to hide their presence and aura, and that should be enough. It was a child's play for her. She did it, and Xiao was actually impressed with it. The system screen notified them that they have received the Shadow Phantom buff, which means that they had merged with the darkness. While walking, he briefs her that there are 5 eerie monsters in the maze. 3 of them are level 60 crawlers. 1 is a level 60 elite boss, and the other is a level 80 regular eerie monster. Thus, they had to be careful. She asked him how he knew about it and if he's some kind of prophet. He told her that he knew a few things, but in reality, he cleared the maze 800 times in his past life, so naturally he would know. It was unbelievable. She questioned him on what else he knew. He simply answered nothing. They had to sneak past the monsters without drawing their attention. He advised her to follow his footwork. She's so arrogant that she was annoyed that he's trying to teach her when she's at a high level. She said that she cleared more mazes in her lifetime than he walked roads. He went first and told her to watch closely. He jumped to avoid the spiky floor, then he landed near the pillar. He stealthily moved past the monster. Dolores couldn't believe that he just passed by a level 60 elite and it didn't even notice him. She took back her words and claimed that his family are masters. She did what he had done. He alerted her to stay ready for combat. They hid behind a boulder. In front was a bipedal boar. Xiao noticed how different it is from his past life. The large creature was the Maze Guardian, a yin spirit beast. Other details of it are hidden from Xiao. So he asked her if she could see it. She replied that it's a level 100 berserk eerie boss. Xiao took the task of opening the chest. He told her to get ready to strike. She placed a defense buff on him. Just to be on the safe side, he warned Ebisu not to move recklessly, or he'll alert the spirit beast. Ebisu told him to worry about himself instead. Xiao got excited that the hidden class scroll is almost his. He opened the treasure chest, and to his surprise, even the content was different. But then, the eerie boss noticed him. Before it could make a move, Dolores attacked it with frost shock, and it became frozen. She told him to run. He got chased by it. She used a 5-point magic formation, and the boss monster was stunned. Xiao checked the items. He got a sheepskin scroll and a cooldown stone, which has a rank of Heaven's Doom. The cooldown stone possesses immense power, allowing it to reset the cooldown of any item regardless of rank. The cooldown is 3 days. Ebisu told him that he's incredibly lucky. He was happy with it. It could mean that the chapter's cooldown will now only be 3 days. Dolores inquired on what they should do about the boss. She questioned if they should fight or leave it. He told her that they will fight it and encouraged her to go all out. She was ready to unleash her full power. She attacked him with lightning. The monster roared loudly. Xiao was confused as to why it was screaming. Ebisu thinks it's going berserk. Then a monster claw tore open the ceiling. They realized that it was summoning a dragon. They panicked when the dragon came out of the ceiling and breathed fire towards their direction. Xiao yelled at them to run. Dolores expressed that there is no way they could beat that thing. Ebisu complained that it always comes down to them running for their lives. Dolores questioned how a yin beast summoned a dragon. Xiao replied that maybe those two are just neighbors. Ebisu got annoyed and told him to shut up and suggested that he ask it instead. She yelled at the kid to move because the yin beast was coming straight for him. Ebisu noticed that it was immune to slow effects. Xiao decided that he's going to take it down first. She told him not to be an idiot. That thing was level 100 and he's just only at level 12. He was thinking that with his cooldown stone and badge of valor, it's the perfect time to test his power. She told him that he's gambling his life. He screamed at it to die. He directly hit it to the heart. He sweated a lot when he realized that the damage was so minimal. Ebisu told him that if he dies, he shouldn't expect him to pick up his corpse. Suddenly, the yin beast coughed blood, and a large hole was created on its chest, dealing negative 932,642 damage. The target's HP below 20% triggered the forced instant death effect. The system window appeared congratulating him for having successfully killed the level 100 strange demonized boss Yin Beast. Him and Gray increased their level to level 20. He reached the level cap and won't be able to level up in the meantime. Zhao was happy to have leveled up straight to level 20. Dolores can't believe that a level 100 demonized boss was taken down by a level 12 rookie. A world announcement came that Knight Xiao has successfully killed the level 100 strange, demonized boss Yin Beast. It was the first kill on a level 100 demonized boss. His reputation increased to plus 500, attribute points plus 50, warzone points plus 1. Naturally, other people would find it unbelievable. They felt like they were not playing the same game. Some think that the game has to be bugged or that Knight Xiao might not even be human. They find it fishy. While there are some who admired him and even wished him to be their grandfather. One person even wanted to call him Daddy, and it was funny. The other person who heard scolded them because they are stealing his father. The majority doubted that a level 12 rookie can kill a level 100 boss. They think that it has to be a hack. They couldn't possibly think that there's no cheating involved. One person expressed that he doesn't care if it's a cheat as long as he gets all the rewards. An old man expressed his belief that the Great Xia, the country they thought they had completely surpassed, actually produced a player like that. He wondered if the hidden force behind Apocalypse had something to do with that player. Meanwhile, at the cave, the roof is caving in. They are in a bad situation where the boss is dead, the dragon is pissed, and the cave is about to collapse. Dolores asked her if he's just going to stand there and die. Xiao replied that he hadn't grabbed the loot yet. Dolores had already opened a portal and told Xiao that if he doesn't leave at once, he won't make it. She told him to forget the loot unless he wants to die. Xiao had no choice but to choose survival first. Large rocks kept falling. Just in time before the cave collapses, they get out. Dolores expressed that she hasn't done that thing in a long time. Ebisu was so tense. He planned to splurge once he got back to calm his nerves. Xiao felt fortunate that Dolores opened a portal or they would have been done for. But when they saw the sky, they got concerned. It wasn't over yet. The dragon was above them. Upon seeing that it's a holy judgment dragon, Dolores was done. It breathed fire and they started running. Ebisu complained that they are running for their lives again. Xiao told him that if they don't, they're really going to die this time. Dolores expressed that she's done and told him to just send the location of the Holy Spirit Spring and her payment. At Winleaf, main city. Lady Shirelle was impressed that Xiao actually managed to get the item from the labyrinth. She told him that he's amazing. Xiao replied that it was a piece of cake for him. Ebisu called him out, saying that he nearly died, and yet he called it a piece of cake. Now that they have the scroll, he asked how they could unlock the hidden class. Lady Shirelle noticed that the parchment doesn't seem to be a class-changing scroll. He asked her what she meant. She explained that according to Uncle Stir, the parchment unlocks his hidden potential and awakens a unique class meant just for him. She told him to follow her. They entered a room. Xiao didn't expect that the estate had a hidden chamber. He didn't discover it in his past life. Stir welcomed him. Xiao greeted him and expressed that he's there to unlock his hidden class. Stir thought that the method of class changing had vanished from the world, but he realized he was wrong. He agreed to assist him in his transition. Xiao replied that he's excited and ready for it. Stir informed him that the parchment will awaken the deepest power within him, and he should follow his heart's guidance. Stir guided him to stay calm, not panic, and to avoid resisting. Blue orbs float in the air. Xiao paid attention to it. Stir couldn't believe that all 5 crystal balls had been activated. Lady Shirelle asked him if that is what he meant by supreme class transfer. He replied, yes. Then explained that the 5 crystal balls around Xiao represent his potential. When he changed class, he only managed to activate 3. Breaking the limits of humanity and activating all 5 crystal balls makes him ask if the guy is even human. It made her wonder if Knight Xiao is something far beyond an ordinary person. Xiao was congratulated by the system for his successful class transfer quest, Whispers of the Dragon. He also had changed his class to the unique hidden profession called Dragon Speaker, and due to the infusion of mysterious power, his class rank has been upgraded. Also, he had surpassed the class rank limit and successfully advanced to the unique god-tier hidden profession called Beast God Master. Xiao could feel his body overflowing with power. Several screens popped out to inform him about the class Beast God Master. Its innate talent is Divine Power, level 1, where he had awakened a divine body, standing tall and unshakable. All final growth attributes plus 100%. He also has the talent called Primordial Force, level 1. As a Beast God Master, he was infused with divine energy. Spirit and strength are both 100%. Then, God's Guardian Set, level 1, where he had attained divine insight. He obtained a blueprint for Beast, taming equipment called Beast God's Claw. He also has the Beast God's Aura, level 1, wherein his tamed beast has undergone the baptism of divine power, causing all attributes to increase by plus 30%. Lastly is Beast God's Dominion, level 1, wherein he gets to have control over beasts that has reached its peel. All his tamed beasts would receive 30% of his final attribute bonuses. Xiao commented that the stats are insane. Stir couldn't believe that someone actually unlocked the legendary Beast God Master class. It means mastering the supreme power of the Beast God and gaining 40 attribute points per level. Xiao said that the stat boosts are insane. He also finds it interesting that the God's Guardian set even comes with a crafting blueprint. He saw on the blueprint of the Beast God's Claw blueprint that it was an equipment that grows in power and it starts at epic rank. But the materials needed to craft it are all rare. It looked like he'll have to hunt monsters to gather everything. The class transfer has been completed. He thanked Ster. Shirelle lets him know that he's amazing. Ster told him that his potential is limitless. Ebisu was amazed with him too. Xiao thinks that he's destined to reach the peak in this lifetime. But first, he needed to craft the Beast God's Claw. Some players informed the Guardian that they wished to do the Abyss trial. The Guardian saw that those 3 seemed well equipped. He asked them on what level of the trial they are attempting. Tiger Unleashed expressed that he's going solo on the Abyss level trial. The Guardian was surprised to encounter this once again, Iger. Unleashed expressed that he lives for challenges and he'll have no regrets even if he dies. The women with him told him that they will wait outside for good news. He replied that they won't be waiting long. The Guardian commented that the visitors from another world are really built differently. 5 minutes later, Tiger Unleashed came out needing desperate help. They asked the boss what happened. He responded that it was terrifying since the monsters mutated. The woman was concerned since their boss got hurt. She quickly asked for a potion. His friend cursed. This person also learned that not just anyone can solo the Abyss level trial. At the Great Rift level 20 trial, Abyss level, Xiao got a message in their group chat. Their homeroom teacher, Mr. Lee, is asking if anyone else is in the game. The school is taking attendance, so he requested them to respond. Wang Jun replied that he saw Hong and Yanran. You guys could just pause this if you want to read the whole conversation. Let's continue. Xiao didn't want them to know his identity, so he decided to lay low and focus on leveling up. Gray was fighting a golem. He told Ebisu that they would get back to work. Gray used Dragon Claw and inflicted negative 2,354 damage. The golem fell on the ground. It dropped 2 pieces of equipment, a rock great sword, which is a 2-handed sword with a dark gold rank, and a rock-shattering hammer, Warhammer, with a dark gold rank. He praised Ebisu for the good work. When he was trying out the equipment, another golem appeared, and it looked like a boss. It was called Abyss Watcher King, level 20 with unknown HP, strength is 3,000, constitution is unknown, agility is 2,000, spirit is 3,000, talent and skills are unknown. Basically, it was a king-tier boss, but Xiao felt relieved that it was only at level 20. He told Ibisu to go first and he will cover him. Ibisu replied that he doesn't need him to. Back to the party of 3. The women were surprised that the boss actually died in the trial. They thought it was impossible to happen because they exactly followed Xiao's leveling path. They thought that if Xiao had cleared the Abyss trial, it meant that he found an exploit. There was a world announcement that the player Knight Xiao from the Grand Jia Nation has successfully cleared the level 20 Abyss trial. He is the first in history to do so. His reward is an epic item, Stone of Valor, and Grand Jia Nation Warzone points +1. Back to the location of Xiao and Gray. Xiao commented that it was an easy win. They were waiting in front of the body. There was no loot, just another Abyss stone fragment. Xiao noticed the pattern wherein the Wanderer dropped fragment, and now the Watcher dropped fragment too. It made him curious about what it is. He questioned if it's used for crafting some god-tier items. He didn't dwell on it since there's no point in overthinking. He decided to figure it out later. It was time for him to head back. Once he was out of the portal, he was greeted by congratulations. The Guardian announced that he cleared the trial and presented him with the reward. It is a Stone of Valor. Epic grade. It holds immense power and can be used to enhance the Badge of Valor. Xiao liked it. He didn't waste any second in joining the 2 items. Because of that, the Badge of Valor increased to legendary rank. This badge is a symbol of true warriors. Only those who conquer the high-level trial can obtain it. It represents the Empire's highest honor, strengthened by the Stone of Valor. Its base stats increased +50, all attributes are raised +5%, and charm +3. Its passive power is that it triggers when HP drops below 30%, increasing strength by 10% and spirit by 10% for 5 minutes. Xiao thinks that with it he'll be unstoppable in the level 30 zone. He told Ebzu that they will go, but suddenly he was informed that there will be a system maintenance, so he will be logged out of the game soon. Zhao wondered if it meant that they were finally able to return to reality. The other players were also confused, too. But at the same time, they are hopeful to get back to the real world. Their bodies started glowing. Back at home, the news reported that after the Great Saiyan Nation, the United States had also fallen into the apocalypse. Experts predict that this supernatural game phenomenon will gradually spread worldwide. It was reported that falling asleep means entering the game, and it made them question what will happen to humanity. It was also reported that player Tiger Unleashed dies in the Abyss trial. It made them wonder how terrifying the Abyss level trial is and what it would mean for ordinary players. In that segment, they invited a high-level player, Qingfeng Kuizhu, who will share the latest updates on Apocalypse and strategies for leveling up quickly. Qingfeng recently led a team to clear the hard-level advancement trial in the livestream, and he'll reveal whether dying in reality affects reality. Xiao never heard that name before. He was interested to see what this guy got. The interviewer asked him what his thoughts are on the recent events. He replied that he didn't do it alone and his team barely made it through. Then he was asked what he thinks about the fact that players are automatically logged into Apocalypse when they fall asleep. He replied that even officials can't explain Apocalypse's existence, but surviving inside the game is far from simple. The host also brought up that Knight Xiao not only cleared the Abyss trial, but he's done it twice as a top player. Qingfeng replied that Knight Xiao is completely on a different level, and even if all top-rank players are combined, they won't stand a chance against him. One man in an all-white suit was watching. He uttered that, if someone like Xiao is in his ranks, he'd have absolute control over Apocalypse World. He called Fu Bo and instructed him to use every resource available to dig up everything on Knight Xiao. Fu Bo replied to the young master that he will get on it right away. Xiao was reading that the game suddenly went into system maintenance and forcibly logged everyone out. Now, players can only enter by falling asleep. It made him think that the invasion of Apocalypse is happening slower than in his past life. But he also saw it as a perfect chance for him to level up. For Beast Tamers, level 30 is a crucial milestone. That's when he can unlock an extra pet slot. He didn't dwell on it and just focused on reaching level 30 first. At level 30, Grey Mist Valley. He commanded Grey to do a stunning shock attack. Grey followed. The golems were stunned. Xiao was impressed. Then Grey released a fire breath. And that crushed the golems into pieces. Both him and Grey leveled up to level 24. There was a crowd on the world rankings, and they noticed that Knight Xiao increased levels again. He was so far ahead of the second-ranked player. They firmly believe that he's hacking. Qingfeng thought that Knight Xiao would be slowed down at higher levels and they would be able to catch up, but instead, he just keeps growing. At this point, the first on the ranks is Knight Xiao at level 24 and Qingfeng Kuizhu at level 10. One of his members told him that he's amazing. Qingfeng Kuizhu replied that there's always someone better, and second place isn't so bad. His other team members agreed and were okay with it since they are in control of the ranks, having all the members in rank 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. At Newbie Village 9527 Dragon's Nest. The dragons were talking that the egg's been missing for days, and yet the other dragon was just sleeping. This is a conversation between Radiant Dragon, a red one, and Skyfire Dragon, purplish-black in color. Skyfire Dragon told the Radiant Dragon that with it being the prophet, it carries the fate of their race. Radiant Dragon questioned if he can't sense the presence of the human. He stated that it was disgusting. Skyfire Dragon asked if he's talking about those wretched gods. He uttered that it's impossible for a human worm to wield that kind of power. Radiant Dragon replied that he can see more than him because he is the dragon prophet, and he is willing to entrust their race's future to the mortal. Skyfire Dragon disagreed because it's reckless. They flew hurriedly as there's no time left. Radiant Dragon stated that devouring all mortals is their last hope. He told Skyfire Dragon to follow him. Skyfire Dragon asked if they are really entrusting the fate of the dragon race to a mortal. One player was relieved that he finally made it to Windleaf Main City. It was Qingfeng and his party. He expressed that besides Knight Xiao, they are the first players to reach Windleaf Main City. Unexpectedly, they saw two dragons soaring the sky above them. We then see our MC yelled for help as the dragon caught him. Abisu told him to stop yelling because it's not like there's anyone strong enough to save him. Qingfeng and his party were amazed. He noticed that it was carrying someone. One of them thought it was Knight Xiao, but he also thinks that it's impossible. Qingfeng replied that even if someone reaches level 100, there's just no way to be involved with a dragon of that caliber. One of them asked him if they should follow it. That sounded absurd because it was a judgment dragon. Qingfeng knew that if one sneezed from it, they'd be gone. Suddenly, breaking news appeared to all the players. It was reported that a dragon boss appears outside Windleaf City. One of the main cities, a poor, unlucky player was captured. Qingfeng revealed that the unlucky player might be Knight Xiao. A lot of speculation came up on what it meant by being caught by a dragon. It was talk of the town. One person thought that he's grinding speedily because he had been dealing with dragons. Some expressed that they are jealous. They couldn't believe Knight Xiao can interact with such high-level creatures. The dragon arrived at something that looked like a ceremonial circle. Xiao feels that those dragons are familiar. Ebisu asked him if he had forgotten the good deeds he had done. He reminded him not to mess with the dragons. Our boy thinks that they're done because one of those dragons had its egg stolen by him and the other one had its home looted. He knew things weren't looking good. The Skyfire Dragon asked him if he's not afraid. Zhao acted tough and told him that they could kill him or slay him as they wished. But deep inside, he's afraid. He's thinking that there's no one who wouldn't be afraid. The Radiant Dragon told him that there's nothing to be afraid of. He told him that the egg that he took was the last hope of their race, and bringing him there is to bestow him with a great opportunity. Xiao asked if they were talking about Gray. Hearing that, Skyfire Dragon got offended. It was outrageous that he gave such a disgraceful name to a dragon. Xiao haven't think it that way, especially when Gray liked his name. Radiant Dragon told him that they should get down to business. That subdued the Skyfire Dragon, and he agreed. They flew and casted a spell in the name of the dragon god. Xiao asked them what they were going to do with him. He clarified that he was joking earlier and begged them to let him live. He tried to play dumb, saying that he doesn't know the egg thief. Yellow and red light shone. The dragon's eyes glowed. They bestowed him the blessing of the dragon clan. Xiao received a part of the dragon's power. His body was enveloped with that warm light. In the Apocalypse Forum. The talk about the Great Xia Nation continues to dominate, occupying the entire top 100 of the level rankings. Another brewing news is that the second spot on the leaderboard has changed. Jinyi Yexing showcased top-tier assassin skills, skyrocketing to level 14, replacing Qingfeng and widening the gap. Also, they noticed that Xiao remains at the top, but he hasn't leveled up in 3 days. They were all curious if he had fallen. Ever since being taken by dragons, he stayed at level 30 for 3 days. They all wanted to know the story behind it. They questioned if someone really knows what's going on, but most of them have no idea. They speculated, judging from his usual pace, something unexpected probably happened. Being taken away by a dragon was too extreme, and it made them wonder if it's some kind of extreme plot. They wondered if Knight Xiao made some shady deal with the dragons to level up. Then they thought that since he maxed out, it was time for him to pay the price by offering up his ass. They all assumed that he used some kind of trick to take the top spot, and that now it's being exposed, he's being punished. One even gossiped that he has someone who has insider info and that Xiao is now done for. He told them that Xiao won't come back in 3 days nor 30. The person he's gossiping to is questioned on who is the person who has inside info because even top players admit that they don't know. Meanwhile, Xiao was left lying on the ground. He complained that his head hurts. The system screen congratulated him for receiving the blessing of the dragon. With it, he became stronger. He stood up and checked his surroundings. He asked what that place is, because it looked like a level 40 area. Ebisu noted that 2 dragons are gone. Xiao was confused, because after all that trouble, he didn't feel much of a change in his attributes and skills. Then he saw that he had a new skill called Money Shield. It means that 100 gold coins can be converted to a 1 shield point, and currently, he has 1.81 billion gold coins. He couldn't believe it. It became more awesome when he read that there's no cooldown. He felt really fortunate. Since God of Fortune got new talent skills, it made him wonder if Beast God Controller had one too. He was astonished to see the innate talent. Infinite Beast Mastery, level 1, which meant that there's no limit to his number of beasts. That was amazing because even Royal Beastmasters only get 3 core pets, and yet he gained no limit. He felt like he's dreaming. It made him kneel and pray and thank the dragon gods. At the trial hall, level 30, the Guardian asked Knight Xiao if he would like to attempt the Abyss level trial. He replied yes and was asked to wait for a moment. The door opened. It emits icy air. The Guardian wished him good luck. When they entered, they were transported to a mountain in the winter season. Xiao complained that it was too cold. He stated that if he had known it would be that freezing, he would have worn more layers. He noticed a large snowball behind him. Fortunately, he stepped aside on time, otherwise he would have rolled over. Ebisu asked him why he's dodging it instead of using his shield. Yao had been reminded that had one. Suddenly, a large bipedal monster appeared. Xiao told Gray to go and show how fierce he is. Gray breathes fire on this monster and instantly defeated this white-furred mutant yeti. Xiao was overwhelmed that in just a single attack, everything was over. He checked Gray's stats. It showed that Gray is a celestial dragon mythical grade at level 30, with base attributes of 7,066 strength, 6,975 constitution, 7,589 spirit, 6,949 agility. It has several talents like absolute suppression, where it has innate dominance over lower-tier creatures. After carrying the luck of Dragon Race, it has grown stronger. Again, pause the video if you guys want to read all of these. To sum it all up, Gray was just too overpowered right now. Suddenly, several monsters came marching in. Xiao encouraged Gray to go wild and kill them all. Gray released a fire breath at the center of the mob, and half an hour later, the last monster, Seeker of the Abyss, King Tier, has been slain. Xiao commented that it's too weak for a King Tier. Ebisu reminded him not to get too cocky when he was badly crushed before. There was a system announcement for all. The screen displayed that Knight Xiao has passed the Abyss level advancement trial, becoming the first ever hero to pass the level 30 Abyss trial. He was awarded an epic item called Heroic Radiant Stone and plus point to Great Xi'an Nation Warzone. One player was impressed since he had faith that the Night God had been preparing something big the whole time. Another player was in disbelief that Knight Xiao had been taken by a dragon and still came back. Another player expected this since he had faith that Knight Xiao isn't someone who would die early. The man with him commented that Knight Xiao is full of potential. The other man replied that they should go back to the city since he's interested to meet him. And when he had brought him under his command, he would take the game seriously. Meanwhile, Xiao had received the Abyss Stone Fragment 3. Upon receiving that, Xiao questioned how many pieces are there. And he also got a Heroic Radiant Stone, Epic Grade. It is a rare material infused with radiant energy from the Heroic Stone. It can further enhance the Heroic Emblem, and only powerful heroes are qualified to own it. Xiao finds that stone useful since it can enhance his heroic emblem again. The Guardian wished him well. He waved goodbye to it. At Windleaf Main City, he noticed that it was getting crowded. Ebisu replied that it wasn't a surprise since Xiao had been missing for several days. They wanted their gear to be appraised, but when they arrived, there were so many people at the shop. Xiao gets in front and orders the shopkeeper to appraise his item. Without looking at him, the boss told him to get in line. But Xiao is a first-class citizen. When the shopkeeper saw him, he was surprised. And his attitude shifted. He welcomed him warmly. The players who were in line got annoyed that Xiao gets cut in line just because he's a first-class citizen. Xiao showed the shopkeeper the item, and the shopkeeper recognized it as the heroic emblem. Xiao wanted that to be enhanced first. The shopkeeper immediately got to it. He was cautious because it's so valuable, and if he messed up, he's ruined. The player on the line saw it and commented that it's just a shabby emblem. The shopkeeper hammered it. Suddenly, a blinding light shone on the players, and the status screen of this emblem appeared. Apparently, it's a legendary grade item, and it serves as a proof of a hero. Only those who pass the Abyss-level trial are worthy of it. It is an ultimate honor of the Empire. After 2 enhancements, it will become even more powerful. It has plus 100 base attributes, plus 5% all attribute resistance, plus 3 charisma, and a passive skill that triggers when HP drops below 30%. It also adds plus 10 strength and plus 10 spirit. Xiao commented that it wasn't much of an upgrade. Given that he has an item like that, the players started to realize that he must be the famous Knight Xiao. Immediately, they approached him and spoke their intentions all at the same time. The shopkeeper blocked their path and told them to calm down and not disrupt the business. Xiao expressed that staying low-key is so hard. He brought out other items that he wants to be appraised, too. The shopkeeper was up to the task and guaranteed him satisfaction. The other players' jaw dropped when they saw that it was a dark gold gear. They all spoke at the same time, while the shopkeeper tried to make them stay back. Consequently, at Apocalypse Forum, it was announced that Knight Xiao had just showed up in Windleaf City, and every single item he had appraised was dark gold. One player asked if it was legit, because last time someone said they saw Knight Xiao, but it ended up being fake. The one who posted it claims that it's real, especially that there are live pics taken. He gave them the location. A player immediately headed back just to see. They all came running and competed with one another on who gets a hold of Knight Xiao first. It forced Knight Xiao to hide, and fortunately, it looked like no one had followed him. He complained that no matter where he goes, people are watching and it drains him. He didn't realize that a player was on his side until he talked to him. He asked what it was about. The man in red armor assured him that they only want to talk business. Xiao asked if they wanted to buy his dark gold gear. It was something like that, but the man had another offer that he's certain Xiao won't turn down. Xiao replied that if he's throwing around billions of gold coins, he would have a hard time saying no. The man replied that Xiao had his head stuck in the game. In his mind, Xiao is trying to remember this guy from his past life. Only the assassin at the back looked familiar. He could remember it being one of the top players back then who never joined a guild and always ran solo. He asked what the real goal was. The man replied that he saw Xiao's potential, but it doesn't seem like Xiao realized just how much power his in-game fame can bring him in real life. Xiao listened, and the man assured him that he doesn't make any empty promises. He was confident that whether it was cash, women, or connections, he could grant him that. He asked for Xiao's answer. Xiao taps him on the shoulder while saying that the fact that he came to him for a partnership tells him that he knows his skill is real and he's flattered. The man assumed that they were on the same page. Our MC continued to say that for someone his age, he's a show-off. And that really rubs him the wrong way. He decided that the guy needs to cool off at respawn point. He created a flame on his hand. The man was dumbfounded that he's attacking him. He persuaded him to talk it out. But Xiao already released the fireball at him and called him an idiot for talking too much. The party members were triggered when he killed their young master. The assassin in the group blocked them and warned them not to make any moves since they are in the main city and killing is strictly forbidden. They just couldn't risk the fallout. Xiao told them to get the money and gear on the ground and consider it their severance pay, and advised them that they should stop chasing the guy when the guy isn't going anywhere. They couldn't believe what Xiao did. Someone from the back asked who's fighting and scolded them for causing a scene. The party members heard the sirens and knew that the city guards were approaching. The guards had surrounded them. The leader asked who had the guts to kill someone in the main city. He threatened that the person must have had a death wish. Xiao admitted that it was him. The guard couldn't believe that he's calm after killing someone. But then the guard noticed that he's a first-class citizen. His attitude shifted and explained that it must have been an understanding. He politely asked what happened since he needed to file a report. Xiao replied that the guy threatened him, so he took out the trash. The guard was surprised to hear that nobody tried to threaten a first-class citizen. The guard expressed to him that protecting citizens like him is their geo, and if anything happens again, he should leave it to them and not get his hands dirty. He replied that it was nothing. The guard thanked him for his kindness and left. The party members couldn't believe that they were just letting him go. The leader of the guards dispersed the squad. One of the guards asked why they weren't arresting the man. The leader scolded this moron for not paying attention to details. He explained that the guy is a first-class citizen, and not just any. It's the person that the Duchess has been desperately searching for. And there's a word that she's been going crazy trying to find him. He knew that this person is not just a random VIP, and that if he reports that, their futures will be set. At the Duke's estate. Lady Shirley looked worried, since she had not heard any news about Xiao. Suddenly, her maid came rushing in to report that Themnori finally got a word. Her expression brightened as she asked where he was. Meanwhile, at respawn point, the man on red armor called his party members fools for not taking down the guy. The guy calmed down and admitted that he lost his cool. He assumed that his party members got beaten by the guy since he's already at level 30. He expressed that he made the guy think they're equals, but he believes that he will realize just how wrong he was. Then, he told the assassin to use his stealth skills and get back in the city to grab the gear he dropped. Someone arrived and told them that there's no need for that because he didn't bother taking his gear. And he already can see that the guy on the red armor won't even need it. It was Xiao and he's standing on the roof. The red-armored guy asked what he was doing in the respawn zone. He warned him that surveillance there is several times tighter than in the main city. Xiao raised his staff while saying that it is necessary to remove the root, otherwise the grass will grow back. And in an instant, he hit the guy with a fireball. The party member cursed at him, but before they could say more, he told them that they shouldn't move, otherwise they would also die. He declared that killing one or many makes no difference to him. The red-armored guy was back. He screamed at Knight Xiao to ask why he's taking things too far. He warned him that if anything happens to him, not only him, but all his family and friends will pay the price. Xiao replied that the guy is still boasting even when he's about to die. He attacked him again because his threat meant nothing to him. They caught the attention of other players. They all looked terrified that he's killing someone at respawn point. The party members got worried about their young master. Eventually, the guy couldn't respawn and was forced to log out. The black robe judge appeared and asked who dared to kill there. The assassin told Xiao that even if he's strong, he won't be able to escape the judgment of the black-robed judge. He assumed that now, Xiao is really in trouble. Xiao was taken aback that they alerted the black-robed judge. He knew that with his current level, facing him head-on would be a huge loss. Xiao admitted his deed and surrendered to come with him. The black-robed judge ordered the guards to take him away. Meanwhile, in a mansion outside the game, Fubo got worried for the young master. He tried to wake him up. The master of the house approached them and asked what happened. Fubo reported that the young master has been killed. That angered the master and ordered to kill the killer along with his family. Consequently, at Dragon Phoenix Empire Court, Xiao was interrogated for his deed. Xiao replied that the person brought a group to harass and threatened him. He claims that he did that to defend the dignity of a first-class citizen. The people on the side talked about how Xiao admitted that he blocked the respawn point and killed the guy 5 times in a row. They find it terrifying that even the respawn zone isn't safe. And they felt that if Xiao wanted to kill someone, that person is doomed. The judge ordered silence. He considered this being Xiao's first offense and sentenced him to lifetime exile in the Eastern District with no right to enter. Xiao tried to reason, but someone spoke that emotionally and legally it was justified action. It was Lady Shirel. Everyone was surprised to see the Duchess. She claims that it's unfair. Judge Ada respectfully greets her. She replied that there's no need for courtesy. Then she shared that Xiao is her friend, and she doesn't want him to be treated unfairly. The judge admitted that his judgment was rushed. Then he stated that according to Windleaf City law, If a vagrant offends a first-class citizen, that person will be executed. Lady Cheryl then suggested that they remove the handcuffs on Xiao. Judge Ader ordered him to be released immediately. Then, Lady Cheryl asked if they may be excused if there's nothing else. Judge Ader told her she can leave any time. She told Xiao that they will be going. Once they were out, Xiao thanked her. She told him that she saved him again. Then she heard that he was captured by a dragon. She sent people all over to look for him, and she's glad that he's okay. Xiao shared that he was captured by 2 dragons, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because he got some stuff. She invited him to come home with her to tell his adventures. He kissed her hand, and it made her blush. It was his form of greeting, while telling her that it has been a long time, and he has a lot to tell her too. But before that, he asked if Steer is still at the mansion. He wanted to ask him about the second-class mission. Bringing that up, it made her conclude that he's already in level 30. She couldn't believe how fast it was, at the main hall of the Duke's mansion. Steer met him and expressed that it's no wonder for someone who made 5 crystal balls appear to level up that fast. He felt inferior. Zhao told him that he's too humble. Then he expressed that he wants to consult him with the second-class mission. Steer admitted that the second-class missions for hidden professions are not his field, and even if he traveled the entire continent, he still wouldn't find a clear answer. It is because the domain of the gods is far too mysterious. Lady Cheryl asked what they should do. She inquired if it meant that he won't be able to obtain his second-class mission. Steer told her that there's nothing to worry about. He knew that to be able to advance to a hidden class to its second profession, one must gain the recognition of the gods. Xiao asked if it referred to the Lost Temple. Steer was impressed that he actually knew about it. He replied that he heard about it before, but he doesn't know where it is. When it comes to mysterious places in Apocalypse, the Lost Temple is among the top. Cheryl was enamored by how wise and knowledgeable he is. Steer told him that HTE Lost Temple appears randomly, like a mirage. 1 second, it's in front of him, and the next, it vanishes without a trace. The system window appeared and notified him that he accepted the class change quest to search for the Lost Temple. Ebisu told him that it's such a mysterious place, and it would make his advancement tough. Xiao realized that the matter of the second class needs to be planned carefully. Lady Cheryl saw him off and told him that when he's done, he should go find her. He agreed to that. Ebisu asked where they would even look for the Lost Temple. He commented that it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. Xiao replied that they won't search for it yet because there's something more important. He knew that tomorrow would be the first strange invasion in Apocalypse. Ebisu asked about it. He explained that the gate to another world will open and countless strange creatures will rise from the abyss. By then, all beings in Windleaf Main City will be massacred, and every building in the city will be destroyed. Ebisu got concerned. He suggested that they run. He told Xiao that he can't protect all his property in the city. Xiao had one person in mind to deal with those creatures. He opened a portal and called Dolores. He popped his head inside. Dolores wasn't pleased to see him, because every time he looked for her, it's never anything good. She asked him if he found another unlucky dragon's nest. He told her to relax because there's no dragons this time. He told her that it's just in the main city and that he won't go anywhere else. She was a bit suspicious. She asked what danger could it be for it to be in the main city. She asked if he wanted her to beat up a lord or something. He told her that it's not that serious, that he just wanted to ask if she could guard his property in the West District for one day, starting at midnight. He offered the same pay. She finds it suspicious that it's that simple. He tried to sweet-talk her by saying that they have been friends for a long time now. Dolores agreed to it. He told her not to be late. Ebisu sarcastically congratulated him for tricking someone again. He played dumb, saying that it's not a trick, and it's for Dolores' own good too. He decided to use the time left to level up one more time and get fully ready for the strange invasion, simultaneously at the forum. They talked about how Xiao killed a player 5 times in a row at the respawn point and caused real-life death. Since he wields such terrifying power, people think that he'd get away with whatever he wants. Some people expressed that it's trampling with human life. They uttered that Apocalypse shouldn't be a place where players do whatever they please. They brought up the idea of supporting identity verification in-game. Xiao read that and assumed that they were making noise just to expose his identity. He finds it childish and decides to go rest since that night might be a long one. He laid on his bed. Many started entering the game. They got confused because they haven't slept and yet they're already in the game. They got alarmed with this another forced entry, and they couldn't log out either. One person uttered that even if he can't log out, as long as the monsters don't enter the village, everything will be fine. Xiao praised Dolores for being punctual. She yawned, as if she's still sleepy. She replied that the city is quiet at that hour. It made her think that he called her just to chat. He told her not to be impatient. He added that soon, all the shops in the West District will be in her hands. Dolores assured him that as long as she's there, not a single tile or stone will be lost. He replied that her presence alone makes him at ease. Lightning had struck. Xiao immediately requested that she cast a buff. She's confused as to what it is. The sky was ripped and several monsters came out. It was the start of the strange invasion. A lot of the monsters are winged ones. The guards announce that there's an invasion and the whole city is under level 1. No one was allowed to leave. They called the mages to the walls while others were tasked to evacuate the people. People started running. Dolores asked Xiao how he predicted the strange invasion. She stated that the current level of the creatures doesn't worry her, but there's a probability that the levels rise. He replied that she has to believe in herself because she's a divine-level sorceress. Then she saw the level 100 boss lord class. She realized that she fell into his trap again. She whined that every time he looked for her, it was never something easy. He reminded her that she promised to protect every brick and tile of his West District. She attacked the monster with the skill called 5 Heavenly Lightnings. The monster fell on the ground. Xiao was impressed that she took out a Lord-class boss with just one strike. She asked him if he thinks she's his puppet. Another large monster appeared. She noticed how more and more keep coming, and now there are flying elite bosses too. She yelled at him to stop staring and help out. He brought Gray out and told him it's his turn. The monsters were so humongous that the humans looked like ants. The mages and the guards on the wall tried their best to hold them off. Meanwhile, Gray breathes fire on a monster and instantly kills it, despite it being a strange elite-level boss. Xiao reminded Gray to be more careful because another shop just got destroyed. He saw that there's a wave coming, so he ordered it to move fast. The system screen notified him that he killed an elite-level boss and a normal boss. The notifications about killing the bosses continued. He was pleased with it because, just as he expected, killing the bosses was the fastest way to level up. Xiao told Dolores that he's counting on her to protect the West District while he and Gray hunt more bosses. She got annoyed with this brat who must have thought that she has 3 heads and 6 arms. She yelled that he should pay more. It was not a problem for Xiao. While Gray attacks the monsters, Xiao inspects the loot. He saw that the monsters even dropped an epic grade gear. He picked up the Devourer's ring and was pleased with it. Meanwhile, outside the Windleaf City, a large bipedal reptile monster spit some purple flame. The players scattered trying to stay alive, while some were fueled by anger and were determined to take those monsters down. The monster tried to claw a player, but the player defended himself with a shield. He told their boss, Qing Feng, that he couldn't hold on any longer. Qing Feng instructed them to look for a chance to escape since the bosses are too strong, and they are no match for it. The tank urged them to go and hurry since he can only distract the monster for 5 seconds. He was pushed back and dropped his shield, but he kept telling them not to worry about him. A female caught him when he fell and tried to wake him up. Qing Feng felt that there's no hope. They all start to think that they are all going to die there. Unexpectedly, the monster was hit with a fireball on its back. Qing Feng was impressed that it was taken down with just a single strike. He saw the attacker. It was a baby dragon. Gray roared loudly. Once the monsters are stunned, he breathes fire on it. They were fascinated by how strong the baby dragon is. Storm felt like his prayers were heard. Xiao informed Gray that there are more boss monsters on the side. Those players immediately recognized Xiao. Qing Feng chased after him. Xiao asked what they needed. Qing Feng thanked him for saving them. They promised that if he needs something, they will do anything, even if their life is at risk. Xiao told them not to worry about it since he's just passing through. Then he informed them that the West District is relatively safer now, and if they don't want to keep hunting bosses, they could head there. When he left, they gossiped among themselves like how cool he is. Storm even said that if he's a woman, he'd want a kid with him. Qing Feng told them to stop the chit-chat and pick up the gear and items because they will head to the West District. Gray attacked another monster, but Xiao told it that killing the normal monster is just a waste of time. He encouraged it to go to the city gates because that is where the real battlefield of the strange invasion is. The city was in flames. Qingfeng's party arrived, and they confirmed what Xiao said. It was relatively safer there. But they couldn't help the question as to why Xiao is patrolling outside the city. They speculated that he's patrolling the city to level up. They saw him leveled up again. He's now at level 35. It was shocking for other players because he was just at level 31 yesterday. It made them wonder how many bosses he had to kill to reach that fast. They saw something like a flamed cannonball, which came from the direction of the main city gate. It's about to crash in the city. Xiao arrived at the main gates and he couldn't help but think that massacre happened there. A skeleton king appeared. It's a level 100 Lord-class boss, so he knew it's going to be tough on his own. The guard informed Lord Ador that the wall at the main gate had been completely destroyed. And the archer and the squad can't hold out, plus their healers are overwhelmed. Basically, they couldn't take it anymore. They asked if they should abandon the front lines and fall back to the rear. Ertor ordered them to prepare to retreat. Out of the blue, lightning struck. They felt hopeful when they saw a divine-level expert had stepped in. It boosted their morale to attack. Dolores was called by this brat in panic, and upon seeing the monster, she knew he wanted her to kill that level 100 Lord boss. Xiao chuckled and commented that she's sharp. He instructed her to help him get too close to it so he could kill it. She pointed out that it's a strange level 100 Lord-class boss. That even her wouldn't dare to say that. Xiao replied that he's serious. She agreed to send him there. First, she gave him some buffs. He suggested that she clear a path for him so he can face it head-on. She saw his guts, so she agreed to it. She struck the monster. Several monsters were stunned at once, then she yelled at him to go. Xiao rushed while telling her that she's awesome as always. Ator told Dolores that with her help the city will be safe. She told him that it's enough talk and he should take his men to defend the north side. She told them to leave that side to her. They counted on her. Then a guard reported to Ader that a level 30-something tamer is trying to attack the Lord boss. Ader told them not to worry and to follow Dolores' orders to fall back to the north zone. Now, Dolores and Xiao stood in front of the gigantic skeleton. It's now all up to Xiao. Ebisu told him that if he dies, he shouldn't drag him with him. He doesn't even plan to pick up Xiao's corpse. Xiao assured him that he wouldn't die. It was the beginning of the hunting hour. The skeleton king moved and attacked Dolores. She puts up a barrier to defend herself while telling the brat to move already. He told her to calm down and just watch. He took out the emblem and activated Brutal Massacre. It released a laser beam directly to the Skeleton King. It was a brutal execution that led to the instant death of the Skeleton King. Its bones disassembled. Xiao was happy that he had done it. Ebisu couldn't believe that the Lord-class boss was taken down in one hit by the brat. That was followed by a world announcement that Knight Xiao had successfully killed a level 100 Lord-class boss. He achieved the first Lord-class boss kill. His reputation increased by plus 1,000, attribute points by plus 200, and Great Shi Nation war points plus 1. The players never imagined that it was possible. Qingfeng realized that he must have left the city earlier to slay the boss. Storm was amazed to the point that he wanted to be Xiao's disciples. Qingfeng expressed that he wanted to be one too, but Xiao doesn't just accept anyone. The woman in their party had made up her mind in creating a fan club of the great Knight Xiao. Xiao collected the loot. There was a divine protector's shield, epic grade, and blazing stones which can be used as a material. There's also a Star Caller's staff, an epic grade item. Just as he expected, the rewards are on a different level compared to other monsters. He asked Ebisu if he found something good. Ebisu replied that it's an artifact. Xiao told him that he's lucky since it was something nice. It is the frenzied horn of the destroyer. Xiao stated that the strange invasion is even better than completing a legendary level quest. They saw that the strange monsters were retreating. Everyone celebrated that they survived. Meanwhile, inside a manor, the guard asked the governor if he had awakened. The man asked this guard turn to help him up. He instructed them that no matter what happens, they shouldn't let those strange creatures in the city. The guard reported that it has been an hour since the invasion ended. The governor couldn't believe that it was already over. The guard reported that while the king is unconscious, with the help of Xiao and Dolores, the invasion was repulsed, and the city is now undergoing repairs. He expressed that he never expected that besides Dolores, there would be another outstanding talent saving the Windleaf City at such a critical time. He instructed Tern to make arrangements because he wants to meet this person and express his gratitude. Tern replied that he'll arrange it right away. With Lady Shirelle on his side, he invited Xiao and Dolores inside his home. He expressed his gratitude for their brave assistance. He told them that if it hadn't been for them, they don't know if Windleaf City would have survived the calamity. On behalf of all the citizens of Windleaf City, he offered his sincerest gratitude. Lady Shirelle uttered that Xiao had once again performed another miracle. Dolores replied that he's too kind. She told him that it was mainly Xiao who took down the Lord-level boss. Xiao gained favorability with Aaron plus 20. He also gained the respect and recognition of the governor of the Windleaf City. He obtained the title Friend of Windleaf. Xiao replied that it wasn't a big deal. Then, he went straight to the point. Dolores excused herself as she needed to return to the Supreme Temple to handle some matters. The governor told her to be careful. Lady Shirelle asked the governor if he needed something from her. The governor replied that half of the Windleaf was destroyed and the once prosperous East District is in ruins, and most of the intact buildings are in the West District. He wanted to ask if she could spare some properties in the area. She replied that she can't make the decision, because at that moment, most of the properties in the West District were under Xiao's name. The governor didn't expect him to be the owner of the West District. He asked him if he would consider transferring some of the properties. He replied that as long as he got the fair price, he had no problem. Abisu knew this brat was going to cash in. The governor asked for his price, and he will immediately have the bank prepare gold coins for him. Since the governor is straightforward, he also replied the same way, by expressing that he'll just keep a few large shops at the corners and transfer the rest to him. The governor thanked him. Lady Shirelle expressed that there's something she needs support with. He told her to tell him. She stated that the incident has been reported to the royal family, and Xiao's bravery has been witnessed by all citizens. So, she decided to request that the royal family grant Xiao a noble title. Deep inside, Xiao thinks it's good news. Ebisu told him that he's really lucky. The governor replied that he supports that decision. She asked Xiao what he thought of it. Deep inside, the governor was surprised that the Duchess has such an appreciation for the young man. He speculated that something is between them. Xiao kissed her hand and thanked her. He also thanked the governor. The governor replied that it is what he deserves for saving the city. He admitted that he should be the one thanking him on behalf of the Windleaf City. Concurrently, at Yanran's home, she's yelling at Hong to stop joking around. She was on her phone worried, and she's yelling at him that if he keeps it up, she's going to get angry. She begged him not to die. She's watching him on her phone. He was laying on the ground, bleeding. She called him useless because she had given him the gear she bought with all her savings, and he still couldn't defeat one strange monster. She's lost on what to do now. She decided to look for Xiao. She realized that she's wrong to trust that stupid Hong. She concluded that he was the one who led her astray. Otherwise, Xiao wouldn't be like that to her. Now, she understands Xiao is the one who best treated her in the world. She decided to find him. Because she thought he deeply loves her, and that if she sincerely apologizes, she's certain that they can go back to how things were. She was determined that this time, no matter what he wants, she will give it to him. She's certain that as long as she lowers her head, he'd forgive her. She left her house at once to go find him. Back in the game, the players planned that as soon as they log in, they'll find a way to transfer to Windleaf City. They think that other areas are dangerous and only Xiao can guarantee their safety. One person planned that too and suggested that they form a party together. They think that paying a high price for a city transfer scroll is worth it. The bidding for a house started. Xiao was confused as to why there were so many people suddenly coming to Windleaf City. He knew it was late to go for challenges, and he planned to forge his equipment first. The shopkeeper asked him what he needed. He replied that he's there to forge and identify some equipment. The shopkeeper replied that it would be an honor to serve him, but unfortunately, his shop was destroyed. Xiao suggested that he come with him and he will lend him a forge and identification device. Xiao invited him in. The shopkeeper asked what that place was. He replied that he will find out inside. He was surprised to see a top-tier forge. He didn't expect that there would be a luxurious forge in the West District. There's even identification equipment, too. He questioned who owned the shop. Xiao replied that if he wants, he can be the owner, and as for the profit mode, it can be the same as he had before. He revealed that it's his property and has been vacant for a while now, and the shopkeeper happens to be there. The shopkeeper was surprised. He replied that he's deeply honored, especially now that so many identifiers are unemployed in Windleaf City. He was truly grateful that Xiao took him in. Xiao replied that there's no need to thank him, and what matters is the work. He suggested we start identifying the equipment. He showed him the first item. The shopkeeper was confused that an artifact needs identification. He explained that even with the most advanced identification devices they have, he can't say that he'll be able to identify the artifact. Xiao urged him to still try. Since Xiao trusts him, he decided to give it his all, and just as he expected, the identification failed. Xiao asked if it was that difficult. He replied yes, since no one has ever successfully identified an artifact before. He apologized that he couldn't help. Xiao realized that it's complicated. He decided to move on to identifying the other 3 epic grade items. The shopkeeper replied that epic grade ones are not a problem. Xiao went to the governor's place and saw that a guard blocked a man requesting it to leave since the governor was busy. When Xiao asked if the governor was in, he was treated differently. He was led inside.
Thank you all for watching. Please watch this next Giga Chad video, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, support the channel by joining the Summon Club membership. You can also support by just liking the video and being awesome.